noticed like there's what we just keep going because we love it, and I'm glad for Vert that this is happening.
Welcome, skateboarders from all over the world. We are live from Salt Lake City, Utah. This is Tony Hawk's Vert Alert 2023. The Delta Arena opened their doors, cleared the floor for us to put the most perfect ramp on planet Earth, smack dab in the middle of where the Utah Jazz would normally be playing. But today, it's all about vert skating. We're going to start with our women's finals. And if practice is any indication of what we're about to see, you're about to watch the greatest show on vert. And that is a Tony Hawk approved catchphrase. So as our skaters get warmed up, we'll give you all the information you need. I am Chris Cote, this is Paul Zitzer, and that's Lindsay Pastrana. How hyped are we to be in this incredible, massive arena? And it's packed already. The women's finalists are up there practicing. This is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it is. We have the best seat in the house. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else this weekend. This is such a fun contest. And skaters came from all over the world. We have the top skaters in men's and women's finals from Australia, from Brazil, Japan, and we have a lot of new faces on the ramp as well. It is going to be an amazing day.
I showed up here and knew only maybe 3 or 4 skaters. That is the most incredible thing to me, that vert has grown so big that we have this field of women who surpass my wildest dreams of women skating vert. And I don't even know who they are yet. Like, I'm here with you learning, just fanning out.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we're about to find out in a big way. We've got a whole day of vertical skateboarding for you. We're going to start with our women's final, then we're going to go into our men's final. Women's best trick, men's best trick, all followed by the awards. So from 3 to 6, clear your schedule. Vert enthusiasts, get hyped because you're about to see what could potentially be a game-changing vert event. I mean, I don't want to dip into superlative here and say that everything's going to change after what we're about to see, but from the teenagers to the 10-year-olds skating this vert ramp, I feel like we're going to see a seismic shift in what's possible on a skateboard.
Well, the thing is, there are not a lot of vert contests, so every time we see these skaters, we see the progression in their skating, and it's a beautiful thing. And that already happened. We saw the open qualifier, we saw semifinals, and the skating has already been next level. So in the final, everyone is going to be shocked, I promise.
Yeah, it's been since 2010 that X Games had women's vert, and now because of this, it's coming back. Like, I'm just so excited, and I think that vert is back.
I'm glad you brought up X Games because our finalists here have officially qualified for X Games, which is just around the corner, July 21st through the 23rd. We have 6 men and 8 women who have qualified for X Games California. That'll be on the beach in Ventura. You can go to xgames.com now and get your tickets. That's going to be another incredible show. They're going to be outdoors. They're not going to have the privilege of being in this awesome arena like us today. But I'll tell you, the action so far that we've seen all weekend long has been just spectacular. Last night, we had an emotional, passionate performance of skateboard. I mean, literally not a dry eye in the house after what went down. Tony Hawk making history again.
Right there. McTwist. That's the first one Tony Hawk has done, well, with an asterisk, since before he broke his femur. And we've watched his journey back to this moment over the past year and a half, and it's been a wild ride, and it all came together for him last night.
So of all the thousands of 540s and McTwists that Tony Hawk has done, why was that one so special to him and the group of skaters around him?
It's just such a journey when you get hurt and then you have setbacks in that injury and in your healing, and to come back from that, the energy of the whole arena just pulling behind him, and all the skaters up there who have been there with him on the ramp through it all. It was just such a emotional experience. I still get goosebumps every time I watch it.
It really was. And I'm not a big crier.
But I could definitely wipe some tears.
There is crying in skateboarding sometimes, and I think we both got emotional. And I was looking up at our audience when that went down, and literally, I mean, there's grown men crying, and it was awesome. And those are tears of joy, because skateboarding does bring that out in a lot of fans. And I will say, speaking of fans, we have an incredible fan base in the Delta Arena and the Delta Center tonight. We're talking families, we're talking men, women, children, all ages, all types of people out here. This is a free event. So if you were in the Salt Lake City area and you heard about it, you're here.
Yes.
It's going to be absolutely raging in here, just how we like it. It's more than a vert contest. It's like a vert spectacular.
A celebration.
Yes.
It really is.
A celebration of vert coming back. It's back, guys.
And look at the amazing, athletes first, but personalities as well.
Yes.
I mean, you look at this field we have of women's finalists, and there's everyone has a different style, unique bag of tricks, a different skill set. Some of them fly. Some of them do the most technical grind combinations that you're going to see. So this is going to be a real test for our judges to try to decipher, basically who's the best.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen at the end of this 30 minutes.
It could come down to a battle, I think, between Japan and Brazil. I mean, but then on your screen,
and Canada.
The lone Canadian,
and Australia.
Yeah. It's any country's game.
I would not guess at the winner at this point. They're all that good. They're just all that good.
And you at home are going to see it in a minute. What used to be groundbreaking, first woman McTwist, you hold the title. Now we're going to see most of these skaters throwing them in the runs.
Most of them, even kickflip indie, I was the only one doing that for a long, long time. And now it's just that's what we do because we're awesome.
Progression is a key element in skateboarding, of course. And I think in 365 days since last year's Tony Hawk's Vert Alert, you're going to see a new level from all the skaters that are repeat visitors to this event. We're going to show you a little bit about what went down last year. We were outside in a bull ring, and it was awesome. These are your top 3 skaters, and just remember these runs, and then look at what they're about to do today.
Arisa True out of Australia just shut it down for third. Amazing. She's back this weekend in the final.
Even some of these younger kids, they've grown so much over 1 year, and so that changes the way they skate. It changes the power that they have, all of it. That's last year's winner, Lily Stephasis from Germany. She failed to qualify into today's final, shockingly. She's that good, and she didn't make it. That means that these 8 are going to be insane, and hopefully we'll see her in best shape. That's a stat to remember right there for sure. Well, how does this all happen? Let's take a look at the nuts and bolts of Tony Hawk's Vert Alert for our women's final. So it's an organized jam, meaning these skaters take turns. They're on a list, one skater at a time. If you fall, the next skater drops in. All skaters are going to get equal runs. So regardless of how much time has gone by, every skater is going to get the same amount of runs on the ramp. You're going to be judged by your overall impression. So basically think of this as a session. Whoever wins the session is going to take home $10,000. And the judges, well, we've got some of the best in the business, and they're looking at all these words, Paul. What do these words mean to the judges? It means a lot. But first of all, Lincoln Ueda, Mike Frazier, and Jason Rothmeyer are our 3 judges. They know what they're doing. They are looking for great skateboarding. That's what all these words on your screen essentially sum up. Skaters need to be committed to the tricks, get creative, use the ramp, basically shred it and be hyped and get the crowd on their feet. Yeah. Sums it up. I think it's about standing out too, right? Yeah. Standing out in this crowd. And here's the crowd we're talking about. Dora Varela, Bryce Wetstang, Juno Matsuoka, Arisa True, Ruby Lilly, Heika Ventura, Reese Nelson, and Asahi Kahara. So there's your international field. I mean, we've got East Coast, West Coast represented, Japan, Brazil, Canada, Australia. So you couldn't have picked a more global field. And I'll tell you, the ages are probably the most shocking aspect of what's happening here. Pretty much every skater in this final is either under a teenager or just barely. So yeah, I did the math, and the average age is 15.
There you go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
Dora Varela from Brazil is the veteran of the squad at 21.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I skated the Legends demo at 33.
Well, we can talk about it all morning long. We're getting hyped, and with that, it's time. Our riders are on deck. It's time to make it official. I'm going to throw it up to the legend himself, Wolfmate Jason Ellis.
Hello, everybody. How are we this afternoon? I'm Jason Ellis. Welcome to Tony Hawk's Vert Alert. This is the women's finals, and we're going to have the men's finals, and we're going to have best trick, and you're going to see the greatest skateboarding that exists on the planet today. I can say it twice. I'm allowed to. So I hope you guys are ready to have your minds blown, because that's what's going down. Trust me on that one. I will pass it over to my man. The reason this whole thing exists. Give it up for my good friend Tony Hawk, everybody.
Thanks, Jason. What's up, Salt Lake City? How are you? Thank you for coming out again to support us. This is our third year for Vert Alert. This is our third year in Salt Lake City. This is our biggest one by far, since we're at the Delta Center, moving up in time. And I just really want to thank all the skaters that came out, made the effort to travel here, all the legends that were ripping last night, especially to Ryan Smith for letting us come into his home here at the Delta Center. And to Jeff Robbins of the Utah Sports Commission for supporting this event from day one. Even when it was just an idea, he was supportive of it and said, I want to bring that to Salt Lake City. And here we are in our third year. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to everyone, all of you, for traveling here. And hey, get ready for some women's finals. Best vert skating you'll see to date. And men's finals after that. Best trick. It's all happening. Enjoy. Do a kickflip.
Give it up for Tony Hawk, everybody. Doing the 540 yesterday, making me blow my lungs out. Kind of lost my voice. I have a headache. So thank you, Tony Hawk, for doing that. All right, let's get in with the women's final. I'm going to name all these ladies off. This is a jam format, so as soon as the first person goes, they go until they fall off. Everybody knows the list. They go one after the other. First up is Dora Varela. Say hello to Dora. Then we have Ruby Lilly from Oceanside. And then we have Bryce Wetstein. Bryce. Heike Ventura from Brazil. Where's she at? There she is. And then we have from Japan, Juno Matsuka. Say hello. And then all the way from Canada, we got Reese Nelson. Say hello to Reese Nelson. And all the way from the Outback, oh, mate, Arisa True. Give it up for Arisa True, everybody. And last but not least, we have Asai Kahara. Where are you at? There she is. All right, girls, whenever you're ready, we'll start with Dora. Let's get this going. Utah, make some noise. This is the women's final. Tony Hawk's Vert Alert.
It's officially on. It's going down here at the Delta Arena. Tony Hawk's Vert Alert. We start off with Dora Varela, 21 years old, from Sao Paulo, Brazil. So, Paul, I'm going to ask you right off the bat, do you start with every hard trick you know how to do and then figure it out later, or do you try to amplify as you go along?
You know, I wouldn't start with every hard trick I know how to do, but I'm not a great contest skater. It looks like she came in real hot.
Yes.
Wow.
In that run, she put it down.
That was an incredible run.
So the order of this jam is the order in which they qualified. So Dora was just squeezed into the final yesterday, and now this is Ruby Lily.
Damn.
And she ripped. Such a technical lip trick skater. Great style also.
Did you see the height on those airs in the beginning? I just love that skaters are so well-rounded these days. It used to be like you're kind of a lip trick skater and you're kind of an air person, and now they just do everything.
I love the variation of styles that we're going to see in this women's final. And I'm loving that North County San Diego represented well by 2 skaters.
Yes.
You got Ruby from Oceanside, Bryce coming up next, Mencinitas. But I think Ruby got the memo. Come out and go off.
It is San Diego is the mecca of vert skateboarding around the world, always has been. And there you go.
Yeah.
2 great runs to start things off here.
So overall impression is what the judges are looking for. They're going to watch every trick from beginning to end. They're going to compare these runs to all the other runs they're about to see. And our leaderboard is going to start filling up. So these opening runs are very important. That's the first impression the judges see.
It is. It's important to come out and put down a great run. Bryce Wetstein has such great variety on the board.
Yes.
You don't know what you're going to get. She's the most unpredictable skateboarder on the board.
I think that she doesn't even know, and like until she's in it and doing it. And that's the thing about skating contests. Some contests are based off one run. So some of these athletes are going to go out there and they might actually do the same run every time. And even if it's the better run, it's overall impression. So, you know, there's some, who knows what the judges are going to think of that.
Was that a faking
Also,
nothing?
yes.
Like a fakey hippie jump, nothing, yes. Or the root beer float.
Is that what she calls it? Yes. Bryce is the most creative spirit you'll ever meet, and you can see that in her skating.
3 flawless runs to kick off this women's final. And this is Heike Ventura from Brazil.
I love her just high flying, fast blasting, like just awesome style. She gives me a little bit of like Karen Joan vibes, you know, fellow Brazilian.
She skates with a lot of power and speed and cranks those airs.
So I know that the judges don't love seeing setup tricks, and I haven't really seen many. Is that a thing of the past?
I do feel like that is where we want quality, not just quantity, right? And so sometimes setup tricks are important because you need them to do the next trick properly. That's why they call it a setup trick. Get nuts. And these aren't timed runs, so just go.
All right, now we're back at it. Juno Matsuoka, 12 years old.
I just
and
can't
flying.
even believe that she's 12. Just the advanced skating that these kids are doing blows my mind.
Japan right now is a force to be reckoned with in every action sport. Snowboarding, skating, street skating, vert skating. Obviously, we're seeing it right now. And it is so rad to see. I mean, 12 years old, she's going to be competing for 20 more years.
Yeah.
The vert scene in Japan is so strong right now. It's crazy.
Based off just her composure on and off her board, I assume she was at least 18.
All right, you're about to see something special. This is Arisa Nelson, and she is unlike any other skater I think we've ever seen.
I agree. Basically, think of being on Tony Hawk Pro Skater and just pushing all the buttons, and that's what her tricks are like. They blow my mind. Half the time I have no idea what they're even called. She's so good. You know, so consistent.
You're right. And last night in the Legends demo, we saw Mike Frazier, your favorite vert skater's favorite vert skater, and he pioneered a bunch of the tricks that now Reese Nelson just put in this line.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like the switch front rock.
I'm watching the faces of everyone. Mike McGill's over here freaking out at what he just saw, as everyone is. And here we go. We're right back at it. Arisa True, your second highest qualifier and probably the highest flying.
Look at that.
Come on.
Wow.
13 years old.
Upside down textbook McTwist right there. That, like face high too.
And so
I have
consistent. I don't think I've seen her fall in practice, in qualifiers. And she's got 25 more minutes, and after putting down a run like this,
Switch backside air. Oh my gosh.
She has so many tricks. It's crazy. She could put together 3 or 4 fully different runs.
Oh my gosh.
Unit.
I mean, what do you do from here?
Sometimes I watch her do that. Oh. And she gets so high, she misses her hand on the coping, and she don't even care.
The crowd is going berserk. Is there a time limit, or is it more of just kind of an unwritten rule? If you've gone for 15 walls, you might want to pull out?
Yeah, I think that some of the skaters will mentally know, like, okay, this many walls is about 30 seconds. I think the goal is about 30 seconds.
Oh, this is our #1 qualifier, Asahi
Oh my gosh,
Kaihara
look at that
from
swing
Japan. Look at the power she skates with.
The power and the style. You know, there used to be kind of a stigma, oh, you have girl style, but now it's cool to have girl style. Look at her.
She has great style.
Yeah. Look at that kickflip Indy. Oh my gosh.
You know, I think poise and grace is not often a word you think of when you think of skateboarding, but that's on display right now.
Yes.
I mean, there's no fear on this ramp. There's so much confidence. You can feel it every time these skaters drop in.
You're right. So we just went through the order one time, and almost every person popped out, did a full run, and smashed it.
We want to know who you are cheering for. We want to know what tricks you want to see. You can go to YouTube, Twitch, and Caffeine. Get in the chat. Ask us your questions now. Do you have a question for Lindsay Pastrana? Of course you do. Ask it to us, and maybe we'll answer it. And also, Paul knows like a lot of stuff about vert skating, so you can go deep with your questions.
The Ruby Lily rolling in on the roll-in. Last night, Hasoi was saying, I don't know if I should say this, but he said he's never rolled down that roll-in.
Really?
How high is it?
Hasoi. It's like 5 foot, or maybe 6 foot over the deck. It's scary to be up there.
It's big.
So you know how gnarly that is.
So this is overall impression, so we will not have the winners until after this is over, but we can see kind of a heat sensor as to what the judges are thinking. And right now it's pretty clear your top 3 qualifiers are currently most likely sitting in those top 3 spots: Asahi, Arisa, and Reese. Here we go back to Bryce. Bryce from Encinitas, California,
Bryce.
19 years old, stereo skateboard, represent. She had a mini vert ramp in her backyard and a iguana bowl. And it's not for iguanas, it's for skateboard.
That's a dedicated skate family.
There you go. There's your current standings. It's like the Tony Hawk special meter.
Yeah.
So Bryce has placed second at Vert Alert in the last 2 years.
Right.
She's only been beaten by 2 skaters that aren't in this final.
All right.
Wow.
By
Okay.
default, she's kind of in first place.
Oh, fakey shove it to rock.
She has such a cool bag of tricks. It's
So
ridiculous.
cool.
So for people that maybe aren't super knowledgeable about vert skating, some of the tricks that may not look as impactful as a giant air, but equally as difficult and sometimes even scarier to do, right? Lip tricks?
Yeah, well, I'd focus less on the difficulty than the fear factor. Just some of the lip tricks, they're just finicky. They're so hard to figure out, balance-wise, timing-wise, and then to be able to learn them every try, that's tough. And then a lot of the bigger tricks, like 540s, are a little easier in a way to wire. I don't know.
This is Heike Ventura right now, and we cannot understate how big and gnarly that gap is.
Yes.
All right?
How scary it is.
And that was very sketchy, but I think the judges sometimes appreciate a little bit of sketch in the flat bottom.
Yeah, and part of the criteria that we saw earlier was commitment, like staying committed to the trick. Like, this is a little sketchy, but
Stay on.
I'm committed.
The kickflip Indy she just did, coming in tuck knee and making it look awesome.
Yes.
That's rad.
She just bumped up in the judges' eyes for sure. Juno Matsuoka, 12 years old, from Osaka, Japan.
This is a child, you guys. She's not even a teenager. And look at, she's bossing airs higher than her face.
Her style on the skateboard and clothing is awesome. She looks cool.
And you know how Mommy has that sick Smith grind? Juno has the same one.
Ooh.
It's got the back foot tweak where only the side of the shoe is on the tail.
That kickflip was not to be denied. She was not falling there.
No.
What
She's
fakie?
committed.
And for both of you guys, to get this good, you're going to slam, right? I mean, you don't get this good without slamming. So this shows me grit and determination and perseverance with every run.
Yes. First, I'm going to point out how long this run has been going on. That must have been 20 walls, which is so hard because as you get tired, it starts to get really difficult. But as I was saying, I said this last night in the Legends demo, if you want to get it good on vert, every day you have to go with a willingness to end up in the hospital.
Okay.
End of story. So,
Wow, Reese.
That trick over the freaking gap is so gnarly.
Nobody does that.
540. Wow. Sometimes I just don't have the words. I just wow.
There may not be words.
I would
okay,
scream if
I'm glad that we're
Such
on
a
the same
sick no
page
slack,
there.
thank you.
So you said Reese has some Colin McKay in her. She's got some Danny Way in her.
Yeah.
She's got some Mike Frazier in her. And if you're compared to those three skaters, that's something pretty special, right?
Yeah, and you're 10.
Yeah. And that's who she skates with on a normal basis.
So there you go.
And Tony Hawk, he's pretty good.
Wow. I did the McTwist to the straight frontside air over the channel. That gets me. The fact that she has that much speed and power out of a fully upside down McTwist.
And you're right, because that's not just an 8-foot channel, it's an 8-foot gap of like death. And if you aim wrong and if you aim wrong and end up in that gap, you can get jacked. Ask Sky Brown about that one.
Well, we do have a question from out there on internet.
Oh, there was one of those ones where she missed her hand, lands in flat, squats it out, does a switch air. Like, I just can't. My mind's blank.
Well, I got a question for you. Lindsay, Uncle Fatty says, what's the hardest fall you've ever had? Give us a quick fall rundown.
Ooh, I don't even know.
That's not a good question. Why, we don't want to bring that up, Uncle Fatty.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 540 she did decades ago, the first female to ever do it.
Yeah, 2009. Like, these kids weren't even born. The majority of them were not born.
I was going to say, do you feel like you may have influenced this generation, but you're saying they were infants when you were skating contests?
I don't even know. The fact that Reese could be my child, like my daughter turns 10 soon. She could be, maybe she is.
Well, if she's not doing 540s yet, just quit. Just kidding. This is to inspire you out there to skate for yourself. You know, all the hard work and commitment that these skaters have put in to get this good, you can do that too. You just got to try. Got to get back out there. You don't have to skate vert. Go skate a curb. This is to celebrate skateboarding and spread the joy.
Of skating curbs. I think that in the grand scheme of things, to answer the fall question, I was pregnant with my second daughter. My first daughter was 11 months old, and we were just skating on the sidewalk. She had her helmet on and everything. She was standing between my legs. We hit a crack, and we fall. I turned, I caught her, fell, broke my arm.
Babies were fine.
They were all fine,
busted.
but I definitely didn't skate anymore until after the pregnancy.
You took one for the team.
Yes.
Took
So
one
that
for
was
the
my
family.
hardest one. I thought we were being just so mellow on the sidewalk right now.
Ruby is ripping right here.
I mean, I'm from also the same area, and I just didn't even know her until this weekend.
They're coming up so
fast.
It's psychotic. I'm starting to get convinced that you gotta just learn vert when you're super young, and you can get. I guess they're making it look like it's easy. I don't know.
They are making it look easy. My heart's just happy that kids want to skate vert. You know, because
If you skate it, if you drop in on a vert ramp and learn a trick, you're gonna be hooked.
oh yeah. I remember the first time I dropped in vert, my brother and Sean White and Rob Lorfus pushed me down, and I fell in, and I'm like, okay, that's the worst that can happen. I ran up, I dropped in, and then the next day I told my mom, I am not going to soccer. I need to go to the skate park.
Yeah.
And that was it. I was hooked.
That was tough love they showed you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I stood up there all day. They were sick of it.
Trial by fire.
Older brothers just, goodbye.
And now we are back to Haica Ventura, obviously Brazil, and specifically Sao Paulo, a huge hotbed of vert rippers.
Absolutely. We've got Sandro Diaz, Lincoln Ueda, Ito. So many great vert skaters. from Brazil. And Brazil's been a hotbed of vert since the 80s, really.
Yeah, they've always been up in there in the mix.
We're back to our 12-year-old skater from Osaka, Japan. This is Juno Matsuoka.
Just look at her power. You know, some people are saying, oh, well, I'm small, I can't go high. But high, she's very, very small, and she's blasting.
Yeah, at the end of the day, to blast on vert, you need a great technique. You can be as aggressive as you want, but if the technique isn't there, it's not going to get you there. She's got both, though. She's got the power and aggression and the technique, and it's so cool.
I feel like we're in probably the best time that's ever been to be a vert skating fan.
Yeah.
Not only are we getting more and more events, but we're seeing this new generation take a lot of the traditional tricks, you know, kind of the meat and potatoes of vert skating, put those into their runs, but then switch it completely up, add street elements, switch elements to their runs. So we're kind of seeing the best of all worlds. And they're so young that this is the class, this is the generation that's going to change things.
I was going to say that the best time to be a vert skater was the 1980s, but the thing is, all those greats from the 80s are still here doing it, so now we have it all.
And you couldn't direct message Christian Hosoi in the 80s.
No.
And now we can. Hey, Hosoi, you're awesome. See Reese Nelson again, currently sitting around third place, but again, these standings, they're not official yet, so we just keep our eyes on there. But Reese right now, I mean, super technical.
Some of the things that amaze me about Reese is just she's so comfortable going forwards, backwards, whatever. All of it.
You're right.
Front side, back side,
Switch.
front truck, back truck. I don't know, all of it.
Well, we knew it was going to be a really good battle between Reese and Arisa right here. They've been highly touted in the last year or two for just how amazing they are on their board.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, Varial.
Wow! She just did a Varial 5 and it looked easy. Wow. You guys, that was a best trick for many, many, many years on vert for the men. And she's 13. Oh my gosh.
I mean, we just saw the past, present, and future of vert skating right there in that one run.
You know, it's easy to focus on the 540s because they are incredible and just beautifully done. But look at all the variety she's packing into this run, and it's still going.
Have you seen a setup trick yet?
No.
No. Every wall was impactful. And yeah, for good reason, right to the top of the current standings with 11 minutes, 52 seconds ago. I got a chance to talk to Christian Hosoi about how and why he picks the team riders he picks. And he says, obviously, there's skill, but it takes passion and respect, right? Respect for the craft, respect for the art form, and the culture. And I think he's got a solid couple of riders in this event right now with Dora and Arisa.
So he's saying it's more than just a bunch of tricks.
Yeah.
Thrown together on a ramp. You got to be a rad skater that people want to watch and hang around.
And yeah, and he said you got to be a good person if you want to be on the Hosoi team.
I'm telling you, Asahi's style is so awesome. How could you not be a fan after this weekend? And she's smiling.
I was just going to say, when someone's doing it with effort and joy and passion, I mean, you can see it in how they skate. Every single one of our finalists has that right now. And they're all lifting each other up. They're all getting the best out of each other right now.
I'm basically just excited to go follow all of these people on Instagram. I just want to watch them and see their progression. And the fact that we live in an era where we can do that, you don't have to wait until some video comes out or you maybe by chance get to go to some event to watch them.
Well, it'll be fun between the the women's finals and the men's final. We're going to have the chance to have some longer conversations with some of our skaters to find out a little bit more about their hometown scenes, what got them into vert, as we go to Ruby Lily.
Oh, the lean disaster.
That is so scary.
It's so cool.
I'm wondering where Ruby would have cut her teeth on vert. I don't think there's a public vert ramp in Oceanside. The YMCA vert ramp was actually donated by Bryce Wetstein and her family, but it's not quite like this ramp. I believe it's only
a lot
like 8
smaller,
feet.
yeah.
So I'd be interested to know
Yeah,
she got so good.
Interesting. Because even though, you know, Encinitas and North County San Diego is a vert mecca of the world, always has been, there's not a lot of public ramps. So the fact that she comes out here and skates this,
she's probably friends
like
with
this.
Elliott Sloan.
Oh, maybe.
You got to make friends with Elliott Sloan.
Yeah. And then there's the B team ramp, Mancha's ramp.
Oh yeah.
Vista, you gotta move to Vista.
Wait, doesn't Bob Burnquist have a backyard
He's
compound?
got a little ramp in his
No,
yard.
his
it's
ramp
cement
is
now.
cement now, which is the coolest.
Yeah, maybe a little scary.
I don't know what makes it scarier than wood.
Well, he added 6 inches of cement to it, so the transition shrank
wow.
by a half foot. So now it's steep and
I
cement.
didn't think about that. Okay, yeah, I'm scared now.
And for most of us, and I'm not including the 2 people sitting next to me, most of us, when we stand on top of this ramp, it's high. It's over 13 feet. You do feel a sense of vertigo. And you really can't grasp the magnitude of this ramp on screen. In person, it's menacing. And every trick, from dropping into a simple grind, is going to be an effort. It's gnarly. I mean, I can't say it enough. Like, these are superheroes right now.
Right, when we talk about big ramps, we're not just talking about the width of the ramp, which this thing is massive, but yeah, it's very tall. It's a giant transition, 11.5-foot curve with 2 feet of vert. You're 13.5 foot off the ground before you even drop it in. So, Bryce just killed it. Fakey shove it, disaster.
Oh, body burial. What? This run is like 20 minutes long.
Insane. And she did a fakie nose one in the run and going for a front nose one right there.
She's a crowd favorite for sure. As unique on her board as she is on land.
Yes.
She's a really creative.
Yesterday she came up to me during the semifinals. She said, "Do you think my runs have been long enough?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you're good. You got this."
Let's talk about the shredometer on the left of your screen. Arisa True currently leading just barely over Asahi.
Yeah, we're going to have to get out a ruler to cut this tie.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. The styles are just, everyone has their own unique style, and it's just so sick.
I love that there are rules, but there are also kind of no rules, right? You don't have to do a 540 if you want to win this contest.
No.
Right.
It would help.
It always helps. But Bryce doesn't do 540s, and you don't notice.
She gets top through, and you don't even, you don't notice.
All right, well, if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, we want to know, who is your favorite to win this women's final? And we have a question from Kaya. Kaya Mazzulli says, do you lose points for bailing in vert best trick, even if you've landed the trick? Well, I think if you landed the trick, that wouldn't be considered a bail, but maybe we can talk a little about if you bail in your runs here in the finals, are you losing points, or is it kind of more, you can clean that up with an overall impression?
The bail doesn't, I don't think, really come into play. I mean, if you are having an off day and you're bailing like first, second wall for 5 runs during, that's going to stick a little bit, I think, in the judges' minds, but it's more just about overall impression of what you're actually doing when you're landing.
Right. I think that's true. If you bail early, they're not counting the bail, they're counting the fact that you didn't make a bunch of cool stuff that they can't give you points for.
Right.
Something we haven't addressed, which I just realized is it's stunning. There's no nerves. We're talking about teenagers skating in front of a massive audience in the house and out there online. I haven't seen one nervous face in this bunch.
No,
they are
look at their
true
little
professionals.
smiles. They're so cute.
And it's true that if you can enjoy it, you're going to do better. But it is really hard to get out there and know you got to do your best skating. Did she?
I think she did, because it looked like she dropped in and then did a little fakey pop turn.
If anybody's going to do it.
To put it into context, last year when Reese showed up at Vert Alert, she was actually in a booster seat in the car.
Yeah.
And she got out of the car, and I was like, she's in the contest?
Hey, I don't know anyone who does a cooler looking twist than that. And the body
it's
burial.
just so textbook.
How do you get this consistent?
Don't ask me. I don't know. No, practice doesn't get you that consistent. Because that's practice a lot.
In Australia, they are like full on. They have coaches, they have training facilities. They're just behind the athletes in action sports, and I think that's so cool.
True. And shout out to Trevor Ward from Australia, who brings these skaters to these events. He's a great guy. We've known him forever, and he's bringing Australian vert skating up.
He is. He's definitely a big factor in the talent pool that's coming from there.
Well, Arisa and Australia has to be hyped right now. You can see just edging out Asahi for now with 4 minutes and 31 seconds, but Asahi's back in, and we've started to see things kind of seesaw back and forth between our top 4 with every run they take. So remembering that this is overall impression, I mean, this is going to go down to the wire.
It really is. But I think one of the things that really comes into play, if it's close, is variety. If some of these skaters can mix it up more, it counts for a lot. Once the judges start to see the same run over and over, it starts to lose its effect.
Get a mental note of the current standings, because we're about to take those away from you. We want it to be a surprise at the end of this. So take a mental picture of that. It's gone. You're going to have to wait till our official awards ceremony, which will be hosted by Jason Ellis. That'll be after the Best Trick events. And we did have a quick vote on Twitch and YouTube. Arisa True has 45% of the YouTube vote and 50% of the Twitch vote. So half the people out there think Arisa is going to win this contest. That's a good call. She's going off, but we still got multiple runs to go. 3 minutes, 23 seconds to go. I would say 2 or 3 runs more each.
Oh, rolling in? What is she doing? She can't decide what she wants to do.
She's a performer. She likes to build up the drama. We appreciate that. Another really angry skater, huh, Paul?
She's never not smiling. Wow! Being disaster.
And win, lose, or draw, she will be serenading this crowd with her ukulele after this.
That is such a good caballerial. So we talk a lot about 540s and all that. That caballerial is worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
That's just
think about the board has to stay on your feet.
Yeah, and you're
for the general person, do you no concept?
Here we go. You see the wind up for something cool is about to happen.
Whoa,
something cool is about to happen.
4 setups.
Soon, very soon.
Oh, she's been wanting to go over the channel. Oh my gosh. Literally all weekend she keeps coming, I gotta do it. And then she gets sidetracked and she just did it in her run. Commitment.
Wow.
Wow.
I think she surprised herself and the rest of the audience, which is on their feet going crazy for Bryce Wetstein right now. What a run.
That was so cool. She just, wow.
She had no business trying to stay on that ollie over the channel either. It was so sketchy, but she made it, and that's another thing. We talked about what the judges are looking for, the commitment factor. She committed, and that counts.
Every other skater in this final is cheering for her and supporting her. This is why we get emotional talking about skateboarding.
Yes.
Skating's the best.
Heike Ventura now. There's her follow, Lindsay. You can follow her on Instagram after this.
After this. Even though this is an individual sport, you have your people, and when you're up there on the ramp with all these people who you're emotionally invested in, their win is your win and their land is your land, and it's just, that's what's so cool about skateboarding.
It is a really awesome collective, and the fact that we watch practice and qualifiers, and these skaters have been sessioning this ramp together the entire weekend.
Wow. Some of these skaters skated 2 contests yesterday, and then this is a 3rd. That's a lot in one weekend.
So we saw the miss on the landing, but it looked like her feet were under her board. So what happens when your board's flipping, you're trying to grab, and it somehow comes together? Is it surprising sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes it's surprising. Sometimes you accidentally mentally didn't commit before you even started, and that's hard. It's hard to get over the mental side of things, to just shut your brain off and go with it.
And those flip tricks can be so finicky. You can learn it. You could have it wired, and then in a contest, your timing is a little different because your muscles are twitchy, and you put the board on your feet too soon, and instead of it going on your feet, you kick the wheel or something, and off you go.
We're getting down to it right now. This is looking like last runs for our skaters. No timer, no scores. Judges still hawkeyeing all the action that's happening right here in the Delta Center. Thanks again to Utah the Utah Sports Commission.
Yeah.
How cool. Usually states like to kick skateboarders out and say no. They invited this in. So we thank them so much. Reese Nelson.
Her tricks are insanity.
Oh!
Mike Frazier posted a clip of her kickflip nose slide over the gap the other day. It blew my mind.
Is that a best trick winning trick?
For sure. Yes.
Best trick winning trick. Something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Look at the height of that.
That was
I wish
giant.
someone would have stood there so we could really see how high that is.
Not a lot
Like
of
that big
people.
twist is face high.
Not a lot of people can air their age. Arisa can. I'd feel safe to say she can air her age. 13 years old, 13 feet. She probably did on that first hit.
Close.
I don't have a measuring tape.
No, you don't.
I don't know if she's at 13 feet.
No, not quite. But she
Well, I can
probably
excite
could
her.
if she got a bigger quarter pipe.
Yes, she could. Asahi now was in the top 3. We'll see if she can stay there. I think you got to, start strong and finish strong, right? The judges are going to watch everything from beginning to end, all the subtleties of your runs.
The subtleties here are how smooth and buttery her tricks are.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But again, like a few of the ones that are in the top right now, they've done a very similar run each time, and so they don't have as much variety as some of the other skaters, and that's how people like Bryce cannot do 540s and still be way up there, because her variety and it's just unmatched.
Well, guess what? Just like that, like a speeding bullet train, it's over. The finals are over. We just saw some wild things happening on this ramp behind us, and it's really a lot to unpack. Again, we're talking about 10-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 16-year-olds, the field of young women that just performed for us it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, these are children.
What did we just see?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It must be easier to learn when you're young, because these tricks are so hard to learn.
So hard.
And we just saw them rattling them off.
And as one of the pioneers of women's vert skating, how good does that make you feel to see where it's come and how far we've gotten today?
It makes me so happy to see, because when I was coming up, there weren't a lot of vert skaters. There weren't a lot of girl vert skaters. There wasn't anyone young like I was at the time, and now it's endless. And you probably show up to a vert ramp or a skate park, and it's a pretty even mix of, girls, boys, all of them, all the types of people.
And the best part about it is it's going to continue on for a long time.
Yes.
When we're talking about our finalists that are so young and still advancing. Again, think back to the little snippet of action that we saw at the very beginning when we look back to 2022. We're light years beyond that already.
And hopefully,
Absolutely.
We were all inspired and influenced by events that we saw growing up. I was talking last night about going to Chicago Blowout and seeing my favorite pros skate live for the first time. Blew my mind, turned me into a skater for life. I hope there's people in this crowd.
I was going to say.
That are going to look back someday and say, I was at that contest at the Vert Alert in Salt Lake, and it changed my life. And here I am doing.
There's a little girl and a little boy out there in this crowd that are going to be back here 5-6 years from now. I mean, if they're 6 years old, they'll probably be back here next year. That's like the trend. But also, there's a dad out there that maybe quit skating a long time ago, and this is the catalyst he needed.
Dude,
all right, I'm back.
Dad.
That's what this is all about, right?
Dust off that old Tony Hawk board that's in the attic, and let's go.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no reason not to go skateboarding. You don't have to do 10-foot 540s. All you have to do is roll around on the sidewalk. It's the best.
It is the best.
I think that just skateboarding right now is the raddest it's ever been. It's all types of people from all walks of life, and it doesn't matter what kind of person you are, you're a skateboarder. That's all that matters. And that's what's really cool and uniting about skateboarding. You can be anything, you're a skateboarder.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, technically, you don't even have to skate, right? You should skate. Identify as a skateboarder. You should probably have a skateboard. Yeah.
You should skate.
Check it out.
You should just skate.
Look what's happening. Look what's happening behind us. This is the men's warm-up practice. That's going down right now, but let's take a look back, all right? We don't know who won. We don't know the top three. That's in the judges' hands right now, but let's take a look back at what just transpired. The last 30 minutes felt like it went by in 5 seconds. The skating was that good.
I just don't want it to end. I'm going to have to go back and re-watch this.
You're gonna get best trick later.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be amazing.
Reese Nelson from Canada, all the tech tricks in the world, and the youngest kid.
Wow.
Acai, style for days. Arisa True, blasting and McTwisting.
And Bryce surprising herself with that.
So while we were watching that, McGill was sitting close by, and he gave us the seal of approval. Like, that was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the inventors of a lot of these tricks are here right now, and that makes it even more special.
You're right.
Steve Caballero, Mike McGill, you know.
Stop. Hawk.
Yes, all of them.
Wolfmate.
Oh, we got
Fraser, the lip trick master.
Jimmy Wilkins has entered the chat. Oh, this is going to be exciting. We have a lot more escaping for you. And as the skaters in the men's finals practice behind us, we're going to bring in some special guests. We're going to put together a little halftime show for you. We are in a basketball arena, so we got to do something special at halftime.
Yeah.
And we did not reuse the floor of the Utah Jazz basketball court. This is brand new skate light right here.
Wait, this isn't?
No,
the
this is skate
basketball
light.
court
This
curve?
is specifically made for skateboarding.
Okay.
It might look like a basketball court that's bent.
Yeah.
But it's actually built. This is probably the most technologically advanced ramp as well.
Yes,
so,
for like 20 years practically.
Yeah, it's perfect, apparently.
Still is,
I tried to run up and climb to the top, and I made it, right?
You got close.
Delete that video.
You got close. You weren't close. This ramp is so good. It is not new. It's still perfect, and it's been taken down and set up hundreds of times. And if you've ever skated a demo ramp that's been taken down and set up 3 or 4 times, it's usually a flaming pile of hot trash. This ramp has held up. It's so fun and good. Everybody wishes they had this ramp.
Yes, it's unmatched.
I hope they don't lose
Backyard.
any of the nuts and bolts. Those
Yeah.
are probably pretty important. Lindsay, we're going to set you free to become now a skate fan and spectator.
Oh, yeah,
but
I'm going in the stands.
we need you back for Women's Best Trick.
For Best Trick,
Please.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Thank
be
you
here.
so
I'll be
much,
here.
Lindsay Pastrana.
Thanks for having me.
An innovator, a pioneer of vertical skateboarding,
Legend.
all around. Probably the most radical mom there is.
Indeed.
I think. One of them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hands down. Come
No
on.
doubt. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Yeah.
And while Lindsay goes up in the stands and starts a wave, we are going to go to Ventura, California. We've got something special right around the corner. I'm talking about X Games California that's coming up this July.
X Games, summer, music, and you. That's right, fans are back at X Games this summer. Be part of 3 action-filled days in sunny Ventura, California. The best in BMX, skateboard, Moto X, and music. Right on the beach, July 21st through 23rd.
Get your tickets now. X Games is coming to Ventura, California. You can go to xgames.com. We're talking all the X Games excitement that you can probably. It might be more excitement than people can handle. It's going to be incredible. You're going to have moto, BMX, vert skating, all kinds of stuff. Probably a bunch of free stickers on the beach in Ventura. I mean, who knows?
Get out there.
Anything's
Get
possible
there.
at X Games.
And skaters here this weekend qualifying in there, that's a first.
Right.
That's new. So no longer is it just an invitational, and if you didn't get invited, you can't complain anymore. You come here, qualify in, and that's your chance.
Well, it's cool now because I'm sure that a lot of people out there watching just found their new favorite skater. So now they have time to make the signs. And speaking of skaters' favorite skaters, this guy right here, Mike Crum, was absolutely ripping last night in the Legends demo.
Thank you.
Mike, we're so happy to have you. You're a perfect example of how creative and how unique vert skating can be.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, and we want to welcome you to the show. And how you feeling from the session last night?
Good. Definitely haven't skated that hard or motivated in a while, so it was just awesome to skate with everyone. Very thankful to be here. It's been a minute.
Yeah. How about the crowd? Did the crowd help get you?
It was. Ellis did an amazing job.
He always does.
Get it, Crom, get it. So, you got to do it for Ellis. But no, this ramp's amazing. I haven't rode it since like 2008.
It's so good.
Forgot how good it was.
So I grew up skateboarding with Mike Crum.
Yes,
we came up in the 90s, skated all the contests for 10, 15 years.
The dark years.
Yeah. So
the years with no paychecks.
Yeah.
Right.
Get third, win $100.
Yeah.
Gas money.
So you came out of Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
What was the scene like for you growing up there?
It was insane. I was very blessed and lucky. Like, the first time I saw skateboarding, my mom went to buy my brother's skateboard, and we went to the clown ramp.
Oh,
they had a skate shop there, so I saw Jeff Phillips skate.
Wow.
Craig Johnson. That was my first introduction to skateboarding.
Those
I was
are the
like,
first skaters that you get to see.
It was
in
a
real life.
Friday night, and it was
That's
them.
a dream for most people.
Yeah, no, it was insane. So I just was in awe, and it just kind of went from there. And
Was Clown Ramp fun?
it was a fun scene. The ramp sucked.
I've heard. Yes.
Fiberglass, like all the pros that would come there, they'd be like, "What the hell is this thing?"
Yeah.
But it was cool learning, then
And then you had Phillips Skate Park.
Yes, which was legendary. First, I think Wood Bowl, like with the transfers and stuff. So we went from the sketchiest ramp to like the best skate park ever.
Were there dark times in Dallas where there were no vert ramps?
Yeah, in the 90s. The 90s. And we traveled, me, Fraser, Brian Howard, like we would travel around trying to find vert ramps.
Yeah, it was
back in the
slim
day.
pickings.
It really
Vancouver,
was.
Tampa, maybe.
San Jose, Sacramento, I think. And we were riding 40-millimeter wheels on vert.
Spending hours in the car. So for people that didn't grow up through the 90s, you talk about kind of the dip in popularity. We've seen it in, the Tony Hawk documentary does a great job of explaining kind of what happened. So for you guys, I mean, I could imagine that this was way more of a passion than it is a profession. I mean,
it definitely wasn't for the money back then.
So what about vert skating hooked both of you? And I want to hear from both of you guys. What about vert skating hooked you in?
Let's hear you. Come on.
The first magazines I saw, Transworld, Thrasher, I was like, it was all vert back then. That was 1985. That's it. I decided I wanted to be a vert skater before I even saw a vert ramp in real life. And so then the hunt was on. And we eventually had to build a vert ramp to skate one.
Totally.
It sealed the deal. Although I remember thinking, I want to learn frontside inverts the first day. That was my thinking. And then about 3 years later, I was starting to try them because awesome. it's a slog. You don't get good in one day.
Yeah, I think I got lucky because of the scene was already. I mean, Jeff Phillips was one of the top vert skaters. So I just fell in love with it. The pump, remember, pumping in on clown ramp, it has kink, so it's like the feeling and all that. So
it's awesome.
Just love it.
So you stepped up when to start your own skate park and build your own vert ramp and try to get a scene going.
Yeah, so we kind of started out as a private deal and then opened up strictly for skateboarding to support the local skate scene. For some reason, Dallas has no public skate park. It's insane. So we catered to skateboarding, and then we kind of organically morphed into helping our community as skaters. And we hooked up with other nonprofits, learned about food insecurity and all that. So now we're rescuing food, getting food donated, feeding 200 to 300 families a week.
Beautiful.
It's all volunteer-based, and it's just really good, healthy food that's going to these families. So
how can we help? I mean, that sounds like everything that I want to do.
You can go to our website, 4dwn.org, and just check out what we're about. And it's just a magical world. It's we try to do a closed-loop system where there's no waste, as good as we can, and it's just a great bunch of people working together. It's awesome.
I follow him on Instagram, of course, and see him every day doing amazing things.
People don't really, skateboarding's kind of getting the families and the people there. They start, and then they learn about everything else, and now they're like our best volunteers ever.
So rad. Well, speaking of rad, we have a highlights package from last night.
Of me?
This is the latest and the greatest. This is a new Mike Crum part.
Awesome.
The part everybody's been asking for. It's right here. This went down last night.
Sneak bug frontside air.
You went straight into it. I'm saying.
Well, I got a hurt wrist, so I got to grab a sneak bug.
Yeah, and you slammed your brains out right to get a hurt wrist.
Yes,
so
I did.
You got to keep it going.
Awesome. I hope you got the switch shove and no slide in here.
I hope so. Dude, you were ripping.
Thank you very much.
Did you ever imagine that you would be up there skating as a legend with McGill, with Tony Hawk, with those guys here in an environment like this at this age?
I definitely did not.
It's
definitely
official.
did not. Jarrett gave me a call randomly, and I was just so stoked.
We are stoked
to be out here
to see you and to get to hang out.
And now we get to call him a legend forever
For life.
because it's now
It's official.
official.
I made
Thank you
it.
so much,
Thank
Mike
you,
Crump,
guys.
for joining us.
Thanks. Heck yeah.
Be sure to check out Mike on the Instagram to get all the information to see all the cool things he's doing for the Dallas skate scene and beyond. So thank you so much. And speaking of hometown scenes, we're going to find a little bit more about here at Luke's hometown scene. I don't know much about it, so I'm excited to see what we have here.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Awesome. Do I leave now?
We'll see.
All right.
My home vert was Birmingham, yeah, but that wasn't my hometown. It was like a 3-hour drive. But yeah, it's very normal in the UK to just like travel for half of the day just to go and skate for an hour or two. I think now there's more vert ramps in the UK, definitely more people doing it, more kids doing it now that they have the UK Vert Series every year. I think people just kind of saw that and took to it. And so yeah, there's more vert ramps, more events happening, and more people skating vert.
So there are vert scenes popping up all over the world, and we want to find out more about the vert scene in Berlin. Lily, welcome to the show. This is our halftime show here at Tony Hawk's Vert Alert. So first of all, welcome. And
Thank
welcome,
you.
Yeah, welcome to the most epic jam ever. But we want to go back a little bit and kind of find out how you got into vert skating and what's the vert scene like in Berlin?
So I got into skating through my dad because he's a skater, but he was not like really a vert skater. But we used to have a really big vert room in Berlin. It was an old XGames vert. It was like 13 or 14 feet. And it was just at my home park, so I just had the opportunity to skate vert, and I did it. And also my coach, Jürgen Horvath, German national coach, obviously like kind of a vert legend, and he just like taught me how to skate.
And how did your life change after you came to this event last year?
It definitely changed. I mean, I feel like for me it changed because I got like a lot more recognition, but also like vert skateboarding, women's vert skateboarding in, I want to say like Germany or maybe whole Europe, definitely changed. It got like more recognition because we girls finally had like a stage to represent ourselves and show that women's vert skateboarding is better than ever.
Do you find that more girls are getting on the half pipe and skating with you?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we don't have a lot of transition gold skaters in Germany, and we don't have many now, but it's definitely changing, and I'm really grateful for contests like this to finally that we got the opportunity to maybe change that.
Yeah, and what are your goals in vert skating beyond ripping, which you're already doing, but what's next for you? What do you see in your future?
Multiple things. I just want to keep skating, and I would love to skate more vert contests. I mean, there are only like 1 or 2 vert contests, so I'd love to see more. And I just want to see women's vert skateboarding grow and develop. I mean, we just saw the final. It was insane, mind-blowing stuff going down. So I think that we're on the right track, and I just want to be part of that and skate with all the girls and have fun.
And we'll get you back in the finals next year, too.
Skateboarding's
I
lucky
hope so.
to have you. Yeah. Honestly, you're blazing a path for young skaters from Germany and all over Europe and now all over the world. So we want to thank you for what you do. And we're talking about scenes, and there's a guy skating behind us, I believe, right now. His name is Eduardo. He's awesome. He comes from an amazing place as well. Let's find more about young Eddie and the skate scene he's from.
In Bordeaux. When I turned 16, Downwind, a private skate park indoor, built a vert ramp. It was the first one of the area. So that's when I started to skate vert. Since I started skating vert, the vert scene is growing a lot. Nowadays, there is a young generation of vert skateboarding. I love vert, I'm trying to promote it. So I'm working on doing vert events, vert like demos, if it's in festival, if it's contest. Vert is growing, definitely. I'm just trying to surf the wave of this. I'm pretty confident that in a few years, Vert is going to be back at the top.
Eddie rules, and we will see more of him very soon. But right now we got a very, very special guest joining us here at our halftime show before the men's final. And I'm kind of shocked right now because it looks like you just kind of walked in, you're just cruising around, but you just skated so gnarly out there. Arisa True is here, and we were blown away. I think the whole audience was blown away, but you look so calm and relaxed. Was that just another day at the office for you?
Basically.
How is this possible?
Yeah, you killed it. Talk us through a little bit what it felt like to skate that final.
It was really fun, and I was just happy I landed my run.
Yeah, you did. She did.
Now, one thing that is incredible about your skating is your consistency. I mean, you were nailing trick after trick after trick. Is that something that you've really worked on, like specific tricks that you wanted to be able to do over and over and over? Or is it just something that's come naturally to you?
Yeah, I usually work on new tricks to get them consistent.
What is the vert scene like where you live in Australia?
It's super fun. There's a good community.
Jason Ellis said you're from Western Australia?
Gold Coast? I'm not sure.
Gold Coast. All right, so that's a surf skate town. Do you surf and skate and mix it all up, or are you fully focused on skateboarding?
I more skate, but I do surf sometimes.
You got to surf if you're from the Gold Coast of Australia.
Heck yeah. Are you half as good of a surfer as you are a skateboarder?
No, I'm a lot better skating, I think.
Okay. So you talked about having a coach and having a good support team. What do you guys work on? Is it like a training session for you? Or are you kind of going, look, we got these tricks down, we need to work on these? Like, what's your average day like when you're working on skateboarding?
I warm up and then I get into new tricks and yeah, just practice lines and tricks over and over.
Awesome.
Future legend.
Oh yeah, current legend, Ripper. Yeah. And we don't know the results, but all I can say is you did really well, and we're very excited to see what happens next. And speaking of what happens next and doing well, Jason Ellis has a special announcement for us. This isn't the only contest happening in Salt Lake City. Something went down outside, and Jason Ellis has more info on that.
Yeah, welcome everybody. I can't sign your board right now. I'm in the middle of talking on the camera. Thank you. Hey everybody, how's it going? Guess what? Now presenting the winners of the Hot Wheels Best Trick Contest. Number 1 place for the boys, Cass Dixon. Where's he at? Nice work, dude. There he is. And then first place for the girls, Addison, is it Hales? Addison Hales. Nice work, Addison. And then the overall winner taking home the Woodward Camp Scholarship presented by Hot Wheels Skate is Deshaun Hill. Jay-Sean. Nice work, mate. Whoa, you got a big check as well. Congratulations. I can't wait to see you walk into the bank with that. Nice work. Nice work, everybody. Give it up for these guys. And girls.
Yeah, test. Hey, this is Tony.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, it's Tony Hawk.
Hello, hello.
Wow, that was incredible. A week at Woodward is literally priceless.
Life-changing.
For that kid. That's going to be awesome. Thank you so much, Jason Ellis. I'm Chris Cote. This is Paul Zitzer. You may recognize this man, Tony Hawk. First of all, can we just say thank you for the show that you put on last night?
Oh, thank you.
The crew went off. And that was, I mean, kind of transcended a demo. There was some real emotional moments happening up there.
Well, for me, definitely, yes.
Well, I think for everybody
but it was, yeah, you know what's funny is I did a mixed twist a couple of weeks ago in private, and I thought that would prepare me for just doing them in the future now, to not think about it too much. And so last night I thought I'm just going to do one, and it's going to be in a run, it's going to be cool, and everything's fine. And then it turned into a mission, and that's what it was.
It got serious very quick when you slammed.
Yeah, well, I'm still hindered by my injury, so I can't get a good hold of it. And because I'm so fixated on the grab, I forget about the snap and pulling out too far. So, you know, It's a whole thing. But
It really
I'm
was
just thankful to get it done. Thank you.
Beautiful moment.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we were talking about of the probably thousands of McTwist 540s you've done in your career. You had a reaction to that, and the crowd
Yeah, that
around
was much more exciting to me than any of the other ones through the years.
Well, going back to basics, I mean, first and foremost, I know that everybody around owes you a debt of gratitude for not only helping shine a light on vert skating again, but also bringing us into this arena. We were in the rodeo ring last year, which was amazing. That was awesome. But this feels like a whole new level. I'm sure you're used to it from the Boom Boom Huck Jams, but for a lot of people out here, this is their first experience seeing skateboarding where it should be on a stage like this.
Yeah, it was almost 20 years ago that this ramp was in an arena, and then never again. So I'm thankful for that. It does feel like an upgrade from the last couple of years here. And I mean, just if you watch the women's finals, 2 years ago, the level of skating wasn't near that. So the skating keeps progressing, this event keeps evolving, and I'm really hoping that we draw more attention to vert in general.
I think the fact that this is now a qualifier also for the X Games gives it so much more weight, because there has always been that thing, like, how do you get into the X Games? Well, you know, who knows? Now we
Come
know.
here.
Come here.
Come to Vert Alert. Now, last year, like we had mentioned, you know, it's pretty fun because now we get to kind of contrast, right, the progression from 365 days or so ago and see what's happening now. Like you had just said, the women's final showed us that the women's progression is light years beyond what it's ever been. We're about to watch the men drop in now for the men's finals, and I feel like it's going to be a similar story there. Can you tell us a little bit about the field that we saw last year, and kind of maybe what are we going to see different this year?
You know, when you see tricks like that, like front cab to front foot impossible, you think, oh, that's as far as we can get, and Moto just keeps stepping it up. So, I mean, I just watched Tom Schar do front blunt to lip slide across the gap. I've never even seen that trick before, and now we're just watching him doing it in practice. So I can't tell you what's going to happen, but it's going to be better than last year.
Well, that was your 3-2-1 from last year. Jimmy Wilkins got the win, and I
mean, right there, Jimmy Wilkins with the lean 5. That's still one of the best tricks we've ever seen. And that was from last year, so it's going to be amazing.
It's true. And then Mitchie Brusca was in second. We saw him do a 900 last year. We saw him do the switch 540. He, unfortunately, didn't even make this final here. That's how crazy the cuts were over the weekend. Open qualifiers and semifinals.
It's a savage cut. Well, how does this work? Let's take a look at how Tony Hawk's Vert Alert men's final is going to go down.
Well, this ramp was the centerpiece of the Boom Boom Huck Jam ramp setup. I put the job to a staging company that does big rock concerts. It could be taken apart and put back together on tour, on the road. It cost a lot of money, and it was a big risk because we didn't really know if it was going to work. And then when I first got to ride it, it was perfect. And it's always been perfect.
It's hard to say about this ramp because this ramp is so good. It's like one of the best ramps in the world. I feel good on this ramp. This ramp is one of my favorite to skate when I'm here in the US. It's perfect. Everything is perfect, so it's fun.
This ramp has like really good transition. Like there's a perfect amount of flat to set up for every trick.
The only bad thing I can say about this ramp that it was really hard for me to skate here and then having to go back to Brazil to skate there.
I think this ramp is perfect for skating at Vert Alert. I think it would be really good to be in an arena, and I'm really excited because the only indoor arena I've ever been to is Disney on Ice.
Tony Hawk Vert Alert, where the best vertical skateboarders are going to be putting it down in an organized jam format.
I love the jam session. I think it's the best, and to me it's just improvisation, you know, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like. I like to skate like this. There's no wait for runs. You just back to back, you know, you fall, you go up. It makes us skate better. I remember to be there and a lot of people screaming and having a good time. That's why jump session is good too, because you don't have to wait, stop, anything. You just like go and boom, boom, boom.
like that energy. It helps me land my tricks.
I mean, it makes me skate different. I have more energy, like I can feel the vibe, the intensity of the session, you know, so it makes me skate better, and it's pure vert skateboarding.
And as if this ramp wasn't perfect enough, we got a fresh coat of skate light, and I'm hearing rave reviews on how good this ramp is feeling for all of our skaters. Well, as our men's finalists gear up, let's talk about the event format. You're about to see another organized jam, one skater at a time. They know the list. If you fall, the next skater gets to drop in. This is not a snake session. There will be equal runs for all 8 skaters, and they will be judged on overall impression. So it's not run by run, it's who wins the session. The winner will take home $10,000, and they have punched their ticket into X Games Ventura coming up July 21st. Tony, how many skate contests have you been in, and how many times have you had to figure out what the judges are looking for?
Hundreds, and every time.
Every
you
time.
gotta figure it out. I think there's an element of surprise that is always helpful. If they haven't seen you do something in practice, or they haven't seen you make something in practice, that will bump up your score. Even though it shouldn't necessarily, it does work for you.
Well, our men's finalists are the who's who of current vert skating. Paul Luke Ronchetti, Tom Schaar, Guy Curry, Moto Shibata, Ronnie Gomez, Augusto Aquillo, Jimmy Wilkins, and Edward Damastoy. And what I love is we truly have a deep international field. Only 2 repeats, three repeats, 3 skaters from Brazil. We're pretty much used to that at this point. There's always going to be at least 3 or 4 Brazilians in any final, in any action sport. So it's only fitting that it's happening here. And as we get ready for this, it's time. It's time for the wolf mate. The wolf is about to howl. Let's throw it up. And now, the wolf mate, Jason Ellis, with our skater intros.
These are the greatest skateboarders in the world, just so you know. There is no greater skateboarders. Vertical skateboarders are skateboarders that are not only technically advanced, but they're also facing high speeds. And when you do high speeds, more damage, which means it can make you scared. But if you're technically advanced and fearless, like these guys, very rare breed. Today, you're going to see these guys. Fearless, technically, the greatest athletes in the greatest sport in the world. Thank you. Here we go. From the top, this is going to be the jam. At the top, we have Paul Luke Ronchetti. Say hello to Paul Luke. Then we have, that's right, Ronnie Gomez. Where's Ronnie? Say hello, Ronnie. Then we have Tom Schaar, everybody. Say hello to Tom. Augusto Aquillo. Where's Augusto? There he is. Say hello. And from Brazil as well, Guy Curry. There's Guy. I just met him like 30 seconds ago. 14. He's 14. Okay. Jimmy Wilkins, everybody. My favorite. Then we got Moto Shibata. Where's Moto? Say hello to Moto, everybody. And then my man, Edouard Demastoy. Say hello to Eddie, everybody. Lightning, this guy. Very exciting. So whenever you want to start, Paul Luke will start the jam until we've sorted this out. It's up to you, dude. Go for it.
And just like that, we are right into it. This is your men's final, 40 minutes on the clock. Remember, overall impression is what the judges are going to be looking at. They're going to watch every trick, every run, every nuance that these skaters are throwing out there, starting with Paul Luke Ronchetti. This kid is so consistent. He is our most veteran, or one of our most veteran skaters at 30 years old. But, I mean, he's skating like a teenager. He's looking amazing.
I think he's going to impress the judges with his ability to tweak every single trick he does in ways that most people could never.
I know you're not going to see, usually you wouldn't see a judo in the finals, but the way he does a judo, it's totally deserved.
So that was our first run. That's basically the line in the sand. So the judges see that, they take note, and that's where the scale is going to be set. We are now going to Ronnie Gomez. He's one of those guys that is an absolute madman. Seen him on Mega Ramp. You see him on, flying around. He was ruling practice.
And Ronnie's got some super technical tricks like that. Well, heel flip frontside. He also does switch heel flip frontside. Varial flip. All this stuff is just, they're almost like setup errors, but they're the hardest tricks.
Yeah, I think the setup thing we were talking a little bit about in the women's finals. You don't really see many setup tricks anymore.
Setups are rare. Usually that's just to reset if something gets off a little bit.
In the Legends demo, it seemed like there was a lot of signature tricks going down. Are we going to see a similar kind of thing in the men's finals now? Do these guys have their kind of signature tricks?
I think there's tricks that they're known for, absolutely, like Tom right there with those big alley-oop lip slides. But when you get into people like Eddie and Moto, Moto's got the front foot impossible, and Eddie's got the crazy rodeo, so they definitely have tricks that are associated with them.
So this is Augusto Accio. He is so good at mixing up his runs. He doesn't do the same runs over and over. He has a million tricks and a lot of weird ones too.
Like that 1 foot of crail.
Yeah, exactly.
How much of this is planned and how much of it is just
I can't tell.
Freestyle.
Oh, how's that? Judo 5.
Loving it. Crowd's loving it.
3-piece 540.
Get dizzy.
He's got to be feeling good. Now we have our 14-year-old skater from Curitiba,
I was going to say,
Brazil.
you want to talk about 540s. There you go.
Does it blow your mind seeing what this kid's capable of on his skateboard?
I mean, I feel like he just chose that he's the spinner. And, it blows my mind every time. But it's so easy. Look at that, 900. Off of a marginal setup.
The other day, he did a frontside nose grind, next wall 900. So.
That's just unheard of.
Did you honestly ever think that a 900 would be a normal contest trick? Is it a normal contest trick?
It's still not, but I never thought it would be. Oh, wow. Kickflip Indy to finger flip Indy. And that's the kind of trick right there that you expect a lot of speed for, and you would do it early in a run. And he chose to do it on the last wall.
And not that high.
That's a Tony Hawk Pro Skater trick.
So Jimmy Wilkins is on the ramp. He's last year's winner. He's won everything, every vert honor in the world, and you can see why.
I was going to ask what makes him so special, but it's pretty clear why he is so special.
He can survive an alley-oop tail grab 5. That's what makes him special.
He is so special because he can do ollie 5s 9 feet high and the best ollies ever, and he makes skating look fun and easy and beautiful. It's more like a what?
Yep, that's the Jimmy Wilkins show.
What do we call that one?
Well, it's a no-grab natural disaster, carving over the chasm, right? Like 540 rock and roll?
No, he went to his truck.
Oh, he went to truck?
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm not calling it anything.
270. 270, 270. How's that?
Yes.
Backside 270 to front truck 270 out.
Okay.
There you go.
We got Moto Shibata.
Oh, man. Moto with those alley-oop 5s. And that's the thing about alley-oop 5s. People don't understand. They're so much harder and dangerous because you have to pull out further, and there's a good chance you're going to hang up.
As Moto is
I love that trick.
his way through his first run. We got a question from Jacob Baranowski from Twitch. Wants to know, Tony, how's your leg doing?
We got to ignore Twitch for 1 second.
What was that?
He asked that at an inopportune time. He just wants an update on your leg. How are we doing? What percentage are we at?
Percentage-wise. I don't like to live in percentages, but...
He did a 540 last night.
Good, yeah.
He's feeling great. So
I put 100% of my weight on the 540. How's that? Is that worth for percentages?
Paul, you said Eddie's one of your favorite skaters in the world right now. Why is that?
He skates so on the edge. He does not bail. He stomps his tricks. It's full commitment. It's all in with Frenchie, and I love it. And his runs, he'll do 25 walls, which is rare.
Yeah, there's no safety.
No. He'll go backseat. He'll Delmar squat. He'll do whatever it takes.
Oh, I love this one. Tail grab, fakey 5. That is so hard.
Look at this.
Wait a second. Was that a sugar cane to fakey, or was that a back tail?
The man will not be denied.
It doesn't matter. Do we care at this point?
Yeah.
The overall impression is that was really hard.
Yes.
Here's your Tony Hawk special meter. This is what the judges are thinking right now. Who's hot? Well, Jimmy Wilkins, Moto Shibato, and Guy Curry.
Oh, man.
But Eddie just popped up into that second spot. And again, those are not official scores. This is just a visualizer to what the judges are thinking right now. We have the best judges in the business. They are right over there, full focus.
Jason Rothmeyer, Mike Frazier, Lincoln Ueda. Legends.
They should be
one and all. Jason shouldn't, but the other two should.
33:28 on the clock, and remember, all skaters will get equal time. Tom Shar.
Look at Tom.
Tom Shar has been on one the last year. You would just say he's improved in the last year? Unbelievable.
Oh, he is one of the best vert skaters we've ever seen.
Well, he was great as a younger kid.
Great, but now he is. He's a maestro. He's a maestro of vert.
I think he's really stepped up.
Alley-oop cab lip. No one's doing that. And right here.
Wow!
Kickflip body roll 5. I mean, that's you need an overall impression.
Yeah. We may have thought we saw the best of Tom Shar when he was a teenager, but I think at 23 years old, he is in his prime and getting better.
Yeah. Ooh, how was that? Did you see that? Kickflip lean nose grab? I don't even think it was intentional, but kind of had it. I love how Guy just comes in hot with a 540. Like that, it just shows you who he is. Like, oh, this is who I am. I'm spinning for a setup.
Are there prerequisites that you kind of have to do if you want to make the finals in a vert skate contest?
I think so.
For a while, fives were a major one, and flip trick grabs.
Landing in the flat.
Indy 9. I mean, you have to. With that much speed on Indy 9, you're not going to stand up. It's not possible, but he is one of very few people that could just make that work.
Wow.
Now
Curry.
Indy 7, and that's with a stand-up.
And that he didn't have that much speed for that, and that was after 18 walls also.
He's the spin master. That's it. He's the spin master.
I'm not good enough at math to know what just happened. That was incredible from Guy Curry. And we're back to Jimmy Wilkins.
Okay, so, oh my gosh! Jimmy just went for sugarcane, went to backlip, hung up, Howard slide, right?
Yes, backside.
So for new viewers,
I rarely see Jimmy look sketchy. But he's just holding on. Oh, that is amazing.
That is so deft, too. If you do that wrong and you go bug on the windshield backwards into the other transition, good night.
Flat bottom power slide.
See you tomorrow.
You're going to have a bad time.
All right, 30:50 on the clock. We're going to go to Moto Shibata, 27 years old from Osaka, Japan.
He won.
Oh, that alley-oop front foot impossible.
One of a kind. No one's doing that besides Moto.
And I talked to Christian Asoy a little bit.
Oh, kickflip McTwist.
Before the women's final, how do you pick your team riders? And, he said, just watch Moto skate and then talk to him and see how nice of a person he is. That's how we pick our team.
You could tell just when he drops in, you could be like, he should ride for Asoy.
Yeah. He's got it. He got it.
Oh, fakey 5.
Beautiful.
No effort. Damn, the sugar canes.
Sometimes it feels like the subtle lip trick.
Oh, that.
Nothing subtle about that. There's a lot happening in that.
I mean, right there, that's a best trick winner. Yes, and he's got that 80s flair with the
like
Pooping
Douglas
dance.
showed up.
Oh my gosh, love it.
Smith looks like Sip.
Look at it's dead even. Dead even with 6 people. Edward Yamastoya.
Just won X Games Japan. You can see why.
Oh, big rodeo frontside 5. Oh no.
Rare.
Back tail 1 foot.
Overturned back tail.
Oh, here we go. 3-6 up bending. I love that trick. People don't understand how difficult that is. Well, maybe you do, Paul, but very few.
That's true, and I know it's not possible in a line.
These skaters have to be on it too, because you don't know if the guy's in front of you. I mean, you could have 4 bails in a row, and you're up. You're going.
Yeah, it comes quick, especially with 8 people.
Ronnie Gomez has more experience in contests than anyone on this ramp by far. He's been around so much longer, and he's
skated every event, all the big air events, all the vert events.
And he wears glasses.
All the Brazilian. Oh my goodness!
He tried to do a Bob Burnquist pancake grab on that trick. No, thank you.
Now we are back to Tom Shar.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So I feel like Tom Shar, after Vans Park Series, he was, kind of known as a park guy for a while, but he's dedicated himself to vert, and it's showing. The Instagram clips he's been dropping are mind-blowing. Like video part enders, and he's just putting them on his story. He's that good.
Yeah, any trick he does in his line could be considered for a best trick.
Augusto, I should note, had to come up through the open qualifier.
Oh, see that one?
Yes. 1 foot, lip slide. See, so much variety. He can do it all.
Saran wrap body jar.
Look at that.
Oh, that trick is so hard. Half cab to frontside blunt.
Augusto representing
that is the twister.
Dreamin' Skateboards, Hawks, and Greenbox.
I think that's going to bump him up on these standings.
All right, we're back to Guy already. Kid is back on the escalator.
The only reason Guy would do a frontside air is to set up for a 5 over the gap. Just watch his upper body prepare for these spins.
When did this kid come on your radar, both of you?
I saw him when he was doing 720s when he was very small.
Like 7?
Yeah, and he was the king of the squat. I mean, I have no other way to put it.
Tough.
And now he's able to get that snap and not do the squat.
I mean,
and do all those spins.
That slam right there was major. That would put a lot of people out. He laughed. He got up and laughed.
He weighs 95 pounds, so he's got a little bit of a slam advantage, but still, they hurt.
Slam advantage. All right, now we're back to Moto Shibata. I mean, again, this is Fast and Furious. Better than the movies.
Ooh, how's that?
Huge.
1 foot of Japan. Is this an ode to Japan? Benihana, 1 foot of Japan? Not that one. Oh man, these alley-oops are out of control. Stale 5.
That's such a Buster Halterman stale 5. I love it. Oh, towards the heels. Fakey. Nose grind. Oh, quick D.
Whoa, invert. Now you're talking. Oh, man. Frontside cab nose slide, or was that going to nose grind?
Yeah, I think that was frontside cab nose slide. That's
taking one from Reese Nelson there.
So regardless of where Moto finishes, he is qualified for X Games Ventura.
Already, huh?
Already. And not just because we say so. There's points and stuff involved.
And stuff, mostly.
Wow.
Big Madonna.
Coming out of Bordeaux, France.
Right? Wine country?
Yeah. Wine and ramps, apparently. Paul-Luc Ronchetti.
Paul-Luc has been going huge this weekend, looking amazing. I think he's due for a win.
Yeah.
His tricks, he takes no prisoners, though. He doesn't compromise at all.
That's cool.
Like, he just goes.
Oh.
So it's hard for him to stay on again and again, but he's doing it. So let's get.
He also has a special weapon in his roster of Narjar, which looked like he was considering right there.
Almost looked like he was lining up for it.
Oh, there we go. Heel flip. It's looking good.
Oh!
Double flip. Oh, yes.
That was not supposed to happen. How did he grab his board in time? It's impossible.
Strong as an ox.
We call that the Hail Mary.
And that's the commitment in that judging criteria that was listed. That is what we're talking about, Paul Luke.
Scare yourself, scare the judges.
Oh, man. Floppy. Frontside 5.
I mean, the viewing gallery that we have right around us right now is so rad.
Wow, that trick.
The looks on people's faces.
I think that's one of the coolest tricks ever.
It is.
Barrel flip Indy 3. Yeah. It's just all, I've never done it, never will. It looks like it's meant to happen, though. And it's so beautiful.
Oh, man, switch frontside heel. Ronnie is stepping it up here.
How you like it now?
You can't fall. I mean, I'm looking around me right now. We got
difficulty factor went to 11 right there.
Jim Thiebaud's over here just smiling and jumping around. You know there are special things happening on this halfpipe right now.
I think if any skaters came into this final with a strategy, all those strategies by now are out the window, and it's like go in and turn it up to 11.
See that? Front board to 540?
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that was a line?
And alley-oop kickflip India over the gap and cleared it by another 8 feet.
I'm personally looking at these airs like they're 20 feet high, but for the noobs out there, for people that are maybe just getting into vert skating, about how high are the highest airs that we're seeing right now from the top of the ramp?
I would say like 9-10 feet.
9-10 feet?
Yeah.
And the ramp's 13 plus, so that's really high off the ground.
Puts you 23 feet up off ground zero.
I've always wondered, what do you see when you're spinning in the air like that?
Oh, when you're spinning in the air, you're trying to look for your landing zone. You watch his head. You watch his head. He turns it ahead, and he's looking down. He's right where he's going to land.
How about this? For me, I don't see anything until I see the landing zone. Are you seeing things on the way around? Okay.
No, I'm trying to look ahead as far as I can. And it's hard because my neck is very stiff these days.
Mine too. It's hard to see. Blind spot checks are brutal.
You know, watch with his 9 too. You can see how he just.
Now you had mentioned strategy. Obviously, you can't hang on to tricks and kind of just try to save them for last after you've already been skating for 25 minutes. So at this point, is it just what you can survive, stay on your board?
Because you've already seen such amazing skating from Moto and Jimmy and Guy. There's no point in leaving anything on the table.
Yeah, there's no, you can't cruise one. There's no reason for it. If you take a safety run right now, it's not going to put you anywhere.
I feel like this is really where creativity is going to come into play.
Oh, there we go. Lean 5.
Like that.
He's the only person who does a lean 5 like that. And
wow. That's that nose one. This, to be fair, this run has gotten a few setups, but the tricks he was setting up for were worth it.
Nobody has a better slash on the vert ramp than Jimmy Wilkins, and I hope we get to see one.
Moto's setting up for something big here. All day with the front foot impossible.
Now, at some point,
Bolts.
Almost, a lot of people do flip grab 5s, but almost no one does the classic kickflip McTwist invented by Tony.
Thank you.
But
he gets it on his feet. I mean, he still has a full 270 to turn by the time he gets it on his feet.
But why is that one so rare?
It's harder to catch. When you're trying to catch it on the Weddle grab, you gotta be reaching really far forward, and it gets tangled, and it's hard to get your feet back in position. A lot of people choose to do melon because that comes into your hand easier.
Physics.
I'm not saying it's easier, it just comes into your hand easier.
Maybe works a little bit more naturally.
Yeah, I love watching Eddie's quote-unquote basic airs. They're so expertly done. Everything tweaked.
They're with
to the limit.
Yeah. They're sprinkled with stoke.
Whoa, was that an indie tail slide?
It was like, he went like 170.
I don't think that was planned at all. Oh, here we go. Kickflip Indy 5.
Almost into the...
You do not see that.
Yeah, that one's totally different.
You really don't ever see that one.
Even that body jar, he over-rotates it almost. It's terrifying.
I think he didn't expect to make that. He's a little lost right now.
He doesn't quit though. He doesn't. I mean, he might pop out, but he usually just keeps going and going.
I love that. I love watching skaters that kind of worry you throughout their entire run.
I'm worried sick when I watch him skate, but it's the best thing.
Worried and I'm stoked.
Nice ollie 5.
He's always getting better too. Look at
Ow. I heard. We all heard that.
I felt it right here.
When you hear and feel a slam, and you see how tough this kid is. Look at
Unfazed.
True grit.
Unfazed.
That's how he won the
grit
first
right there.
Vert Alert.
Ooh, look at that frontside ollie by Paul Luke. Yeah, he's got that overturned twist too to it.
What are the what
Narjar!
It is.
Wow. You're welcome.
Have you done a Narjar?
Never.
The adventure of the Narjars sitting right next to me.
Sandra Diaz, shout out.
Have you ever even like looked at one coming around?
No, I can't nose grab a 5, so
okay.
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what it looks like from up there, where you're going to find your tail. I can't find it.
No, I can't imagine. I didn't even, that trick never crossed my mind as a considered.
It's probably good. You probably,
that's why it's called.
You probably had a healthier life because of it.
Even body jaws can be scary.
Oh yeah, they're bad. See, I wonder what is Ronnie going to do here, because he had all of his tricks last time. Nice.
Struggling for a little bit of speed, but you know he's always got a wild one to throw out.
18:29 on the clock.
Frontside cab.
That's a combo.
That's a good combo.
That's the good flow. When we
Brush
talk about
that dirt off your shoulder right there.
Yeah. Composing a line. You see some like nice combos where they make sense and they're hard tricks. Look at that.
I think all of us Tom Shar fans want more. We want more Tom Shar. We want more of that.
Tom is our Lester Kasai of this session. Because if he gets a good landing, he can't hold back. He cannot tone it down.
Yeah, when it would be smart for him to tone it down.
Yeah, just a hair. Yeah, 5%. But even read that trick he bailed on. Alley-oop, kickflip, lip slide? No one.
That's a best trick.
That is the best trick. I'm saying it right now. That would be the best trick we see in this session.
I bet he can backside reverb that too, though. So. Sorry.
Don't give him ideas. Not right now.
Keith Curry, our youngest competitor, the master of the spin, according to Tony Hawk.
Spin master.
Spin master. Here we go. And these are all different. That's what's shocking. All you know, to the untrained eye, they all look like 5s, but they're all with their own difficulty factor.
And Gabe has a mega ramp in his backyard.
Oh, there we go. Kick flip, body barrel 5 to get his board straight.
He's got something in his
720 with no speed. Oh,
man. Dude, he dodged it.
Is that a Brazilian thing? Because Bob does that thing where he lands on his butt.
Yeah, it's kind of a make.
He's
counted.
He's one-upping Bob right there.
We got
if he wanted to match him, he would have to lay in agony on the bottom for like 5 minutes.
We got a quick little shout from Uncle Fatty. He wants to know, how high were you guys going in big air comps? You know, when you, Cab, Hassoy were doing those high air contests off 10, 12-foot ramps.
I think 12 was sort of the limit there.
Benchmark.
Didn't we see a photo of Christian going over the 12 mark at the Vision event?
Maybe, and then at Raging Waters, Cab went
about that high, yeah.
Which is shocking, because what size transitions we're talking about back then?
10 at the most, 9.5 maybe.
And that's tiny.
Oh wow! Well,
but that Cedar Crest was a big ramp, and that one kind of changed the game a little bit too.
Frazier changed it too on that Gainesville ramp in Powell 8. That ramp was 11-foot transition. That was the first big ramp I skated. It felt crazy.
It did feel crazy back then.
So
that was a big leap.
For the uninitiated, when you talk about the transition, when you talk about the length or size of the transition, that's a totally unique factor to each and every ramp.
Usually, I mean, that's the radius, right? But it has come to a standard of about 11 foot now. So this ramp is 11-foot radius with 2 feet of vert.
Isn't it 11.5 radius?
That's up for debate.
you made it in meters, so we don't know.
Let's put it this way. I've skated ramps that they say are 11.5 and they feel a little bigger.
Okay. And then the amount of flat bottom can make it feel different.
Yes.
Giorgio has the ramp in Italy with a 13-foot transition and 2 feet of vert. It feels so mental.
That makes it harder to pump unless you're going high every wall. Wow! There you go. That was a 360-foot melon grab?
Yeah, unbelievable. That's
right?
That's impossible.
That's impossible.
There's your current,
but not an impossible.
Your current special meter. Right now, it looks like Moto Shibata has captured the attention of the judges. Currently, loosely in the lead. 14 minutes, 28 seconds to go.
Oh, he's setting up here. Ooh, he's going for that big flip. Indy 3.
So in an overall impression format like we have here today, do you almost go into kind of best trick mode? Or do you do that? You just do that?
You do that.
Tail grab 7 1 foot. Unintentional, but still. Nice. Oh, that trick is unreal. Frontside blunt slide to lip slide.
I'm going to take a real quick second here to shout out Tate Carew, who was cruising his way. He was going to be here in this final. I've never seen him skate better. He was blowing everyone's mind, and then he slammed his brains out, broke his collarbone yesterday, so he's not here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well soon.
But he was on his way to being one of the top competitors of this field right here.
Yeah.
I'm also claiming Tate Carew Olympic medal next year.
I like that.
In park.
In park.
Yeah.
When are we going to see Vert?
I said it. I said what I said.
When are we going to see Vert in the Olympics?
Not soon enough.
LA?
When someone from the IOC watches one of these events, gets a clue.
Let's
IOC.
get Terry on the phone.
Paul has Tony's number. Get Tony's number from Paul. Let's make this happen. LA.
Put you in touch.
13 minutes. Guy Curry.
When they realize they're not going to see a body barrel 900 in the park event, that's when it's going to happen.
I think just give skateboarding its most well-rounded view. Street, park, vert.
Oh, nice.
Show the world.
That was 19 feet.
Oh, that is the biggest LA5 you'll ever see.
No grab. Not
No
touching.
grab. Oh, and then his signature disaster, backlip revert.
Oh.
That would have been, the irony is that would have been the easiest trick in that line. And they're all impossibly hard.
How did Jimmy Wilkins get this good? What happened?
His mom's a ballerina, and maybe his dad is a scientist, and it just like came together.
It was a laboratory.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he got bit by a spider, radioactive.
Columbus, Ohio. Is that a big vert skate town?
No, but they had a great vert ramp at Ollie's that he skated.
It was,
rest in peace, that vert ramp.
It was close enough that he could go skate it.
No lights and slick, but hey.
With an oververt section.
Yes. The boomstone. Shout out to Peter Fernie. All right, back on track here with Eddie.
Oh, alley-oop frontside 5.
Jeez. That was dangerous.
That is a frightening and dangerous trick.
I'm always just the idea that you can spin, go upside down while traveling sideways, and then land it that easy.
Oh, here we go. Varial 5 with command.
Yeah, he finished that early.
And 360 flip. Oh, varial flip. It's almost like he had to safety that one. No, 360 flip.
Every time.
Wouldn't that make his board still backwards?
It depends.
Oh, no, he did the varial 5. He did problem.
I didn't even think about that part of it.
He's doing a lot.
But again,
he's doing a lot.
Basic question: Are these guys riding loose trucks or tight trucks? Do you have to have tight trucks to stay solid on vert? Personal preference.
Well, me, yeah, my trucks barely turn.
You know what? I think tighter trucks help you stay more stable and go higher. You keep your speed a little better, but they make it harder to land when you're a little crooked, maybe, and maybe loosen them up. It loosens your legs up too. Who knows?
Tom is coming in hot down the roll-in to lip tricks that don't require much speed, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, maybe he's overdoing it.
No, it works for him usually. Oh, here we go.
I'm just impressed that they're still skating. I mean, it's been 30 minutes.
It's a lot.
Still going hard.
These runs take it out of you, especially if you stay on and pop out. Usually, contests used to be 3 runs. Now they're dropping in 8, 9, 10 times.
And it's as mental as it is physical, right? I mean,
at this
it
point,
is.
Yeah, it gets to be all mental, maybe.
Oh, man. Body Barrel 900.
Have you ever seen that?
I feel like I have, but
it's right behind us. Ask him, Chris. Oh, that trick.
Oh, there you go.
I've seen somebody special do that trick too. Over a channel.
If I could have one skate trick, that would be it right there. A Jimmy Wilkins ollie.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Not alone.
Yeah.
Just about anyone would trade like their whole bag.
I'll trade everything.
Yeah.
Now we're back to Moto Shibata. And last time we looked at Tony Hawk's special meter, he was right up there in that top 3 spot.
Huge. Alley-oop.
You can tell when it's someone's day, right? You can tell when they're on.
That's true. Yeah. Moto's on a lot, though. His consistency is always just, that's why he's always here. He's just unbelievably consistent.
I don't think I've ever seen a front one from Moto.
Quick question from the chat. Do us MP4, please. Yes, you skate for as long as you want. If you fall, the next skater can drop in. I would say there's some gentlemen's rules in place, you know. We all know that kid at the skate park that does a 50-wall mini-ramp run.
Yeah, but when you're exerting this much energy, you're not going to last more than 40 seconds.
And if you do, then props to you.
Yeah, and if you do, then you're just kind of...
Are you bumming everyone else out if you skate for too long?
It's just, you know, you're not going to get any points for it.
I feel like the rest of the field would probably be happy the longer you skate.
Yeah,
that gives them a little break.
But then that starts to cut into how many runs you're going to get in the entire session.
I should have been counting runs. We're probably on about 10 runs each around then. That's a lot of skateboarding. All right, we're inside of 8 minutes here with 7:42 to go.
These guys are taking deep cuts with their tricks right now.
They're just going into the files. What else do I got?
Here we go. Varial flip.
There it is.
That was perfect.
Indy 3. I feel like you have something like that in mind. You don't know what you're going to do next.
Right. You're focused on one.
Yeah, just that one trick. I made it. Now what?
Once you do it, then you almost don't care. And sometimes the rest of the run writes itself.
So we saw in the judging criteria the combination of
there we go
tricks.
Oh, here we go.
Tom Shaw now. Come on, stay on, Tom.
Yeah.
Heel flip. 360 flip, Indy to fakie. Oh, switchback D.
This is good.
Cab back. Oh, cab disaster revert. Told you deep cuts here.
What?
Switch flip to fakie.
There we go.
See right there.
That's the Tom Shaw we wanted to see.
That was like 10 walls. That's all. If he kept going, it wouldn't matter.
No one could ever
just need those 10 walls. That's it.
You're right.
Tom Shaw's going to rise out of the basement after that last run for sure.
Wow. He better.
6:26 to go.
I mean, cab disaster revert, but the switchback D, right?
And yes, and he did it proper.
Like it was.
The over rotation factor on that trick is just too high.
We gotta give a shout out to our DJ Vern Laird playing a fluff classic.
Here we go. Body barrel 900 to a body barrel 5.
Wow.
He was like shocked that he made it, but then just snapped into the next one.
A lesser skater would have over rotated that 9 too, because he was like,
oh,
what? Is he getting dizzy yet?
Oh man, look at these landings too. I feel
every time I watch him skate, I have to wonder how much further can he push this.
He doesn't need to push that any further. I think he can be like, okay,
he's good. This is good. This
I might as well start doing Jimmy Ollies and stuff next, right? I mean,
yeah, the checklist of things to work on is not very long, is it?
Oh, Jimmy with a huge frontside cap.
Oh, Jimmy.
Just like kickflip Indy for good measure. No, there's no reason. Wait, what was going on there? I think it was going to be alley-oop backflip revert. I don't want to project too much, but that's what I saw.
He has done that alley-oop nose blunt, so he ends up in a frontside nose blunt slide, getting into it, you know, alley-oop back nose blunt.
See, here we go. We're going into deep cuts.
All right, we're inside of 5 minutes now. Probably 2 more runs each, roughly.
Maybe. Is this top of the order here? No.
I filmed Eddie doing a run yesterday, and it was a full minute-long run, and it was all bonkers. So he could take up most of this next 4 minutes.
I don't sense any tiredness, to be honest. I mean, 99% of the skate world would be just completely blown by now, but they're still firing on all cylinders.
Oh, there we go. 360 ollie to backside board slide. Oh, front cap tail grab. Tail grab, backside 3. Tail grab. Oh, he was going to go. You know he was going to go fakey there.
Yeah.
That was the plan, for sure. And
fakey stale Pop-Tart takes him off his board.
I love that run, but
you
I
got to watch out for the classics.
I got a question for this whole field. They can't hear us, but where are all the inverts?
There's no.
We not do inverts anymore.
We did see Eddie do an eggplant.
And I think a frontside invert. We were talking though.
And I feel like we were more nervous about the eggplant than anything else.
Yeah, you're right though, Chris. Good call. We'll mention it to him after the final.
We got best trick coming up, so maybe they'll be taking requests. Ronnie Gomez, 3 minutes, 18 seconds. Always hyped to have Jason Ellis.
Switch heel flip over the gap. That requires a lot of speed.
Now we're going to have the same judges for best trick. Are they going to be bringing out different tricks than we've seen so far?
I believe so, yeah. I don't know. Tom, wow. Tom with those, they're not even really alley-oop backflips. They're like alley-oop giant disasters.
I love how Tom Shar skates. It's so fun to watch.
It's so great when certain people make it to the final. You get a little extra kick because a lot of times when they don't, you're just kind of like, they belong there. He's there. He's on fire.
Wait, he just came in through the gap.
Oh, he started a street run. I think he did a kickflip back there. Ouch.
Well, that was an interesting strategy.
Yeah.
How are you all right after slamming like that?
He's okay for now.
Yeah.
Can't speak for tomorrow.
Ice baths. Guy Curry. Follow him. Watch what he does on a daily basis.
Indy 5, just for speed. Right? Just from point A to point B.
Certain people are they physically constructed to spin, or is it a technique, or maybe a little bit of both? What do you think?
I think it's just that's what he saw when he started skating transition or vert, and it was like, that's my go-to. I want to spin, and then he went all the way with the spin. Oh, that right there is an iconic trick.
Sometimes one spin is all you need.
Oh, here we go. Front 540, revert across the bottom, big and big 5. Jimmy won't hold back.
A minute 13. We're about 3/4 of the way through the field. We got Moto and Eddie coming up next. Moto was sitting high in the rankings about 10 minutes ago.
I don't know what's left to be done, honestly, from any of these guys.
They've done it. They've done it all.
They've done it all.
What's left to be done? A rocket air.
Oh, yeah. Now that's all I can think of.
Oh, 720. Indy 7.
Okay. Well, Moto Shibata is definitely looking like a podium threat. I mean, that's for sure. Even if you discount what we saw in the special meter 10 minutes ago, I just think overall impression, he has been one of the standout skaters.
Same with Frenchie.
Same with Eddie. And Edward Demistoy at about under a minute to go. So we are most likely going to be looking at last runs.
I think they're going to go again.
Do they vote? Should we fill it up again? I cannot discount how scary that gap is. I tried to jump it just with my feet. I didn't get halfway across of it.
That wasn't a try. I'm following the discipline.
Okay, after. Best trick.
You posed it.
It'll be the worst trick.
Stomping it.
That was almost like a 90s to tail.
Yeah.
The late.
we pretended to go to tail, but we didn't actually go to tail.
Right. Gladiators right there. I mean, full credit to the athleticism. And that is a corny word to say, but you can't help it. These dudes just laid it down for 40 minutes straight, run after run after run.
That was a lot of runs. I mean, that was 2 more than they're used to doing in any kind of finals.
Are you in charge of that format?
I was not.
Okay.
I was not in those discussions. I just work here.
We appreciate
lend them
it.
your name.
So I want to know about, I think a lot of people talk about when they're watching the current state of Vert is how cool it is to see the mix of tricks from generation to generation. In both of your opinion, which generations do you think were represented the best right there? 80s, 90s, 2000s? I mean, where did they pull from the most, do you think?
I think they pull from their own generation the most.
Now,
I mean, the tricks, the variation we're seeing are things that we hadn't even considered in our day.
Yeah.
But I do love seeing guys like Moto with the stale fives, the rocket eras. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of throwback, but then straight back into the modern, difficult stuff.
I feel like the 90s were underrepresented.
Oh, you want a little bit more 90s. All right, well, we
need more of those fake to tails.
We've got more skateboarding to come. Coming up next, we got women's and men's best trick, and then our award show. It's going to be epic from here on out, as if it already wasn't good enough. Just wait. You're about to see some incredible skateboarding. We're going to take a quick break here, but we're going to take a look back at what we just saw. So no break. We're going straight back to skateboarding. That was, again, 40 minutes, a lot to unpack here. Some of the most technical skating we've almost ever seen in a contest.
It's as good as it's ever been.
Augusto with the Judo 5. See right there, pulling from the 80s. And then this one, that's the modern, right?
Absolutely.
Front cab, front foot impossible. Jimmy's got all the generations covered here. Big twist to kickflip melon.
That's from a year in the future that doesn't happen yet. And then every spin that ever happened came together.
Oh!
1-1, guys. I know you're not official judges, but who are a couple of your favorites?
Wow. Well, I think Moto's got a very good chance considering that most of his runs were almost complete, and they were all different varieties. But Jimmy, you cannot count him out ever.
Fan favorite, Tom Shaw.
Tom Shaw, fan favorite.
Because that one run could have, like, if you had a one run, 12 trick.
Yeah, that was it.
One.
That was it. Yeah.
But then I love Frenchie. He did exactly what we talked about. He was going to come out and put down. Like, he's going to click into another mode where it doesn't matter what physical consequences he might suffer.
Yes.
He's going. So I love to see that.
Oh, well, something that we're all going to love to see is women's best trick, and that's going to be coming up next. Thank you so much, Tony, for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be replacing you with Lindsay Pastrana just for a few moments. But we're going to have you back here for men's best trick.
It's all yours, my dear.
It's about to be a trick party. Things are going to get wild. This is basically one trick to rule all other tricks. Chris Cote, Paul Zitzer, Lindsay Pastrana back in the booth. And this is where, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to see the hardest tricks that these skaters know how to do.
Which is interesting because it looks like we already saw them. But
yeah, a lot of them we saw in competition, I think.
Just do it, make it harder.
They're going to make it harder.
Make these tricks harder. Well, so far we've seen our men's and women's finals. We don't know who was won. That's going to go down in the award ceremony. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some time back on the clock. And I feel like this is a great place for these skaters that maybe feel like they didn't do enough in the finals to come back with a vengeance. And this is where, you know, after this, you're on vacation here in Salt Lake City, which is a great place to be. So you might as well leave everything out there on that ramp.
Yeah, there's probably even some skaters that didn't make finals but are that good and they have something that they want to show us.
All right, well, with that, the best tricks are about to go down. We're going to go to the top of the ramp one more time with Jason Ellis.
Hey, Utah, you ready for Vert Alert Best Trick? This is the female Tony Hawk Vert Alert Best Trick, where you just get to work on one trick. And if you make it, we'll give you money right now. So there's cash on deck. So there's going to be immediate cash victories for any of the ladies that can blow our minds with some insane new tricks. And then, of course, at the end, there can only be one, like in the Highlander. So, yeah, there's going to be one winner at the end of this. Who is the greatest trickery of all skateboarding in the female division? Find out right now. Girls, whenever you're ready, from the top of the order. Congratulations, Dora, you just started. No, we're not starting yet? Just the jam. Oh, okay. Okay, so anybody can go whenever they want, unless you just haven't let anybody go, then I'm probably going to regulate. But other than that, ladies, the floor is yours. Whatever you can come up with, you're going to get paid. Reese Nelson.
We have 2 skaters in addition to the finalists that will be joining the best trick contest. Jada Ward and Lily Stefasius. They will be skating best trick.
One of the gnarliest things that you can do is like drop and switch, and Reese just did that.
Yeah,
as like just to set up for whatever she was doing.
Have you done it?
Not on a vert ramp. Have you?
I have.
Oh.
It's really scary. But you know what I do? I set up, and then I immediately in my head switch to like no stall fakie. It's not a switch drop in. It's like a no stall fakie from the deck.
That sounds complicated.
A little.
It's just scary.
Well, we've got 19 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. And I believe we're going to still go into kind of a friendly order. This will have the feel of more of a jam.
And the basic format of best trick is who does the best trick. That's it.
You're saying it's in the title.
Yeah.
Whoever does the best trick.
There's nothing more to it. It doesn't matter. Setups don't matter. Falls don't matter. Nothing matters except putting down a best trick. And when we see that,
is that the best trick?
I mean,
it could be.
It could be. And then it could get beaten. We don't know yet.
So same judges as we had for the finals. But now they're just looking for that one trick. I feel like best trick is always kind of it's the icing on the cake, right? It's where they're all warmed up. You know, the nerves are probably gone a little bit because they just competed.
Yeah.
But now they're free to get wild and do stuff like that.
Could we possibly see the first women's ever 720 tonight?
I hope.
That's right.
Well, I did hear that Lily Stefasius has been getting close, and then we just saw Arisa try it, and it looks like she knows what she's doing, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I think you're right.
Also, did they coordinate? Yesterday, a lot of them had the 2 braids like Reese, and then today they're doing the low pony.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually don't know. I just said, I just trusted you on that.
Yeah, okay. I'll ask them later if they coordinate or not.
They're a 12-year-old skater out of Japan.
Think about some of these athletes have traveled so far to be here.
Right.
Really far.
Yeah, halfway around the world, as far as you can go. And you have to travel all over the world these days to be in contention to be here almost.
This is about to happen.
Okay, yes.
Wow!
Kickflip, no slide, fakie over the bridge.
So that's the best trick so far, right? I mean,
yes,
we're not
absolutely.
judges, but I think pretty obvious that that's the best trick so far.
Yes.
So explain the difficulties and dangers of doing that trick over that gap.
Oh, she's just getting some cash right now.
So nose slides on vert are kind of a hard trick. Nose slide fakie is a hard trick to get up and into. Kick flipping it gets real tricky. It's not like kickflip nose slide on a ledge because you're starting from a vertical plane and trying to level it out. So that, and then the bridge just adds that extra element.
Well, and you want to, I mean, in your brain, you want to just jam it into there and not slide, but she has to gauge the angle to be able to slide it as well and not fall in the gap.
Yeah, and that gap is no joke. I mean, it's 8 feet wide.
Oh.
Which doesn't sound like a lot on paper, but trust me, when you walk up to it, it's a chasm.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's the grandest of chasms.
If you set up wrong and you head into that, you're...
Oh,
whoa. Spin it.
720?
Yeah.
It almost looked like it's going to keep going.
That was like 710. He's there. That's coming. That's going to happen in the next 16 minutes. I got a good feeling about it. I mean, I called the kickflip nose slide, so I'm kind of on right now.
Yeah.
Seems like
you should pad up. Get out there.
I mean, I'm not that on. Now, what else does Reese have? She's going to make some money after this.
Wow. Front nose grind, revert.
Now, is that as easy as it looked just now?
No.
I did a lot of nose grinds on vert and never did one to revert, much less over the gap.
We got our head judge, Jason Rothmeyer, on top of the deck with a huge wad of cash. I believe Reese has a couple hundred of that already.
Jada Ward, back 3, ollie.
So we didn't see Jada in the finals, but she was ripping and qualifying in practice, so she got that golden ticket in the best trick.
Oh.
Are we about to witness history?
We might be.
But as we were talking about spin tricks last night, sometimes they look really close, but when you're trying them, there's just a little something off, and you can't quite figure it out. And no matter how much effort you put into it, you're not going to land it until you crack the code. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going on there, but we'll see. She might land it in 1 or 2 more tries, or it might not happen because spin tricks are weird, and it's all in the takeoff.
So you can one more time yourself for 1,000 times?
Mm-hmm.
A million.
Even the camera angle, like it might look like from that angle, that's it. Well, how did she not make it? But it's not always the case.
Fakie 5, Jada.
I see Tony over there giving some advice. That's pretty rad.
Yes.
He's always been a big supporter of women in skateboarding, and I mean, he's a huge reason why I got where I was in the sport.
Yeah, you grew up in a pre-Poots Park Encinitas at the YMCA skate park.
Yeah.
Which is still a place where rippers learn their craft. Braden Hoban from the YMCA in Encinitas. He's pretty good.
He's great. Were you skating this vert ramp at Tony's TF?
Oh, yeah.
A lot, as much as possible.
Yeah, but it kind of turned me into a ramp snob because it's so perfect, and then I would go somewhere else and go, oh, there's lumps. And, oh.
So this actual ramp has been around for 10, 20, 15 years. Tony Hawk's right. Is he right behind me?
Yeah, I want to ask him.
Well, he's busy coaching people.
I'm claiming it's about 20.
I think so too.
Which is crazy. And usually a 20-year-old vert ramp is ready for the dump. This one is not.
When did this ramp originally built? 2002.
Wow. So yeah, over 20 years.
Oh. Thank you for making me feel smart, Tony Hawk. 20 plus years, and it's still the pinnacle.
It's still like the best there is. Yes.
And with that new skate light.
Yes.
That's like a Christmas complete.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Skate Light for making the best service in skateboarding, making vert skating so much more fun.
It's specifically made for skateboarding, right? Because I don't see Skate Light on homes or anything, right? It's a skate product.
It was inspired by a product that was already made that just happened to be perfect for skateboarding, though. So they adapted it and turned it into a skate product. But wow, she just did kickflip beef
money. What does a 10-year-old do with $400? I wonder.
Put it in her little pocket.
Candy, so much like rope, red vine ropes and whatnot.
Oh!
That is close.
Wow. Imagine if we see 2 tonight.
I would love that twice as much as well.
Yeah.
Well, Tony is actually out there like giving tips to these skaters, which is invaluable. I mean, can you imagine getting coached in the moment by the Tony Hawk?
And here's another thing: these skaters can do the twists already, so if they can get to the landing, they're going to be good with it.
Yeah,
but
they're going to know how to.
Yeah, and again, for our viewers at home, this looks so easy. These are the best skaters in the world, and this ramp is huge. The bravery that it takes and the determination to learn these tricks like these young skaters have done is otherworldly. I mean, there is no sport like vert skating.
Reese just did a switch front feeble, which is, people don't do, a lot of vert skaters don't do front feebles, much less switch ones.
Oh!
Wow, that is very close.
Australia is on the edge of their seat right now. They want to see this go down.
Let's get this done for the sake of skateboarding. I believe.
We're about halfway through. Still plenty of cash left.
Yeah!
That deserves,
that was sick.
That's a $100 trick at least.
Switch, pop shove. What way? I couldn't tell which way she grabbed.
You got to cross to get the money.
Yeah, let's switch now. Yeah, because I think switch pop.
It happened so fast. Thank goodness you guys are here. I just saw a blur of radness.
And so, like, yeah, not as flamboyant as a 720, but come on, any switch trick on vert is super hard, much less a switch shove.
And go get that money. Lily Stefasius is lining something up here. Oh. Wow, very close. Jason Allen's just said we're looking for our first ever 720 from a female. Right now.
Right now.
It's happening now. In the next 9 minutes and 50 seconds. And meanwhile, Reese has just opened her book of tricks and handling. No problem.
She makes it look way too easy. Front nose grind, fakie over the channel should be, it should take like 2,500 tries.
The candy section at 7-Eleven's about to be gone. Yep. 9 minutes, 30 seconds to go. And
that's going to be sick when she does it. I've got like sweaty palms for them.
Oh, here we go. Is this going to be a historic first?
Oh. See, she's ready to commit to it. She's just landing and her weight is not over her board. And I don't know what advice would work for that, but Tony does.
Is she over-rotating, do you think, her body?
It looks like a little bit, which is a good problem to have, because usually the problem is you're not getting it around.
Yeah, she's definitely getting around. The spin,
Well, we know Bryce is going to do something cool and creative. I like that sometimes she goes into mini ramp mode and does just the coolest little tricks like that.
Cab, double trucker to fakie. That was sick.
There's a lot going on right there.
Fakie heel.
Rice. Careful out there. 8 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Giada. We have a couple wild cards. That's one of them. Giada Ward and Lily Stefasius. Right now, it's kind of become a bit of a who can land on the moon first between Stefasius and Arisa. Both skaters trying the unprecedented first ever 720 for a female.
The race to the 7.
And I got a good feeling about it. What if it happens at the 720 mark? Oh my gosh. Come on. See, it feels to me like she's just under and Arisa's just over.
but both of them are a little off on the landing. So as soon as they're over their board, I think they can sort that out. Jada faking 5.
Jada. Jada Ward coming through for a cash trick.
So the sketchy thing about the fakie 5 is you're also landing backwards.
Yeah.
You know, you
start backwards, land backwards.
There's a lot that can go wrong on that trick. Hike at a fakie with the feeble.
Underrated for how gnarly it is.
Well, it looks so easy. I forgot like how hard that is.
One of the things that can go wrong with the gap is if on a lip trick, if you get into the lip trick, then the lip trick takes you over the gap. If you don't get into it, if you mess up going into it, you can get caught up and it can go sour real quick where you're stuck in the gap. Maybe like she's trying to kick for
I've
nose.
purged my memory of the slams that have happened in that gap.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Can she do it? She's got the power, she's got the speed.
A little further away from the goal right there, but sometimes that's a good thing, right? You get close, 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 and then the next one feels way off, and then the next one could be the magic.
It's such a process. Learning tricks is a mind game. A lot of times you know what you're supposed to be doing, but your mind can't force your body to do it properly.
I mean, fear has to come into play, right? 90% of these tricks you can, I mean, anytime you're going this fast on a ramp this big is dangerous.
Well, when you're trying a new trick, a lot of times you don't know if you're trying it right or not until you try to land it. So yes, fear plays a big role in first makes. Once you learn it, then the fear tends to go away.
Oh,
that was really close.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go. And you know what? If they're close, I have a feeling like that clock is not really going to matter. We have men's best trick coming up next. They're all gearing up, but you know they want to see that 722.
Yes, they do.
In skating, actual skating, nobody's putting a clock on anything. You just want to see the 7. You're not going to say, nope, didn't
It could
count.
take 4 years.
It could, or it could happen next try.
There's electricity running through the Delta Center right now as we are on the precipice of potential history-making skateboarding. Best tricks brings out the animal in these skateboarders. They're going for it.
Yeah, you have to. And so here's another thing. It's really hard to land a trick for the first time because of fear. But when you're in an environment like this, it's way easier to face the fear. When the crowd is behind you, there's that stoke. The fear is less impactful.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why a lot of great moments like that is why Tony Hawk made the 9, you know, that night. You saw it. It wasn't because he had finally figured it out. No, he was like energy zorching through his body from the crowd.
And that was after time. Technically speaking.
You had to say it, huh?
I had to say it.
So it didn't count?
Still count. Yeah, it doesn't count.
Oh. So,
but
hey,
I'm not telling him that.
This is another classic Colin McKay trick. I don't know. I can't think of anybody who kickflip front nose slid on vert other than Colin. That's getting real close now.
It's getting real. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go. I love the crowd is engaged. It doesn't feel like there's favorites here in Best Trick. The crowd's going off for every trick we're seeing. Salt Lake City with a knowledgeable skate fan base. Love to hear it.
She's
spun a little early.
Yeah. If you can set up with a big air to fakie and come into it faster, it's a little easier to get that around.
I remember when Alex Perelson was super young and he did them at Claremont, but he had the roll in the middle of the ramp, and so he would go up the roll in and then come back, and then he had all the speed.
You could possibly do it here, but you're going to be on the edge of the ramp. It's pretty scary.
Special meters are up. 20:27 on the clock. We got Juno, 12-year-old, out of Osaka, Japan. She just ripped in the women's final. Here's one of our wild cards, Jada. And who's it going to be? Who's going to do the first 720? Is it?
Yes!
That was perfect. That was perfect.
That was perfect. Burial flip indie grab, or you could call it a big flip indie on Vert. Same thing. Awesome. Great trick.
Oh! That was close.
I think
close.
I think she can make it.
I think she can too.
Ellis has whipped the crowd into a frenzy here at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, the state of sport. Thanks again to the Utah Sports Commission for 3 years of radness, and I don't see any reason why we won't be back here next year, but I'm not Tony Hawk.
I hope we're back here next year.
I think Tony's having a good time, and that tells me that we'll probably be back here.
Looks like Salt Lake is having a good time too.
Absolutely.
One of these ladies could be the first. Let's make some noise. Sets it up.
Yeah, all of a sudden that one looked like it could be a make.
Do we just go head-to-head? When time runs out, do we just go head-to-head and keep this thing rolling?
Synchronized.
Nearly stomped it.
They should just drop in on the other sides of each other and just go together.
Right? Split
Make
the difference.
history at the same time.
Sure, our head judge still has some cash with 26 seconds left. Women's best trick living up to all expectations and more. And
I hope that they give everybody another run when the clock ends.
15 seconds.
I think they will. You kind of have to.
that was nice.
That was a nice nose grind. And then front nose grind to lip slide.
O side or no side, that's what's up.
All right,
Bryce is going to do something cool.
Fakey heel, front side.
That was close.
That was really close.
All right, that's it. I'm going to give the girls a try at 720s.
All right, our 720ers are given one more chance from Jason Ellis.
Let's get 2 makes right here. The crowd is going off.
So rad. I want to see it so bad. It's about to go down right here.
Oh.
Washed out on the landing.
All right, Reese. Last shot. Let's go.
No pressure.
Make some noise for Reese Nelson. She's made several tricks. She's about to invent another one. Get it going for Reese Nelson.
Trying kickflip front board.
Let's get it going.
Kickflip back board. I'm not saying anything.
Oh! She can do that.
Give her another. One more try.
Give it to her.
Everybody's got their fingers in the air. One more try.
You saw the judges wanted one more too. They're like, let's seal it right here.
It's unanimous.
Come on, Utah. One more shot. You think you've got so that they can give you everything they've got.
I want to see them become 720 sisters right here.
Sets it up. Come on, Utah.
Ran out of spin.
Well, the good news is the 720's coming either right now or within the next couple weeks.
Oh!
I mean,
She has to go again.
you
She
gotta
has
do
to.
one.
They
You gotta
have
give
to.
her one more, right?
That's a lot like Tony Hawk doing the
it's
9.
Yeah.
I mean, that you can't
Give
get
her
much
like a
closer
breather.
than
Let
that.
her legs have a second, friends.
That's the mother instinct came out real quick. Hold on a second.
My friend needs a break. Give her a second. You know, we're Instagram
These two
friends.
ladies get one more shot.
All right,
Utah,
this is official.
on,
Last
really.
try.
you are about to witness something that's never been done.
Oh.
Yeah, Lily. All right, Arisa.
All right, Arisa's last shot here in the women's best trick.
Oh, it's so close.
Guess what? Guess what? I just got some top secret information. Arisa has gotten so close on those last attempts, they're going to let her skate in men's best trick.
Yes.
So I think she earned it.
Yes,
I mean,
see, those spins
Does she
are
know?
hard.
She might not know that information. Top secret.
Well, the world knows. Does she know? All right, well, we're going to clear the ramp. And it's time for men's best trick. Chris Cote, Paul Zitzer, Lindsay Pastrana.
I'm going to hand off my ears.
You're going to trade off with Tony Hawk.
In a minute.
Yeah. Let's take a look back at what we just saw. I mean, there's a reason why this event is called Best Trick, because those are the best tricks we've seen of the entire day. That was incredible. I want to jump in the time machine and go back to when this just started. Reese went off.
Reese did a lot of great tricks. Kickflip, no slide, fakie. There you go.
I think she made the most money out of the group.
Yeah.
The most tricks.
She deserved it.
That was just style from Miles right there.
Bryce came.
Yeah, Bryce and all her creativity. What a night. I'm just so pumped for vert skating right now.
So epic.
I can't wait to see what the guys are going to do.
Thank you so much, Lindsay Pastrana. We're going to bring Tony Hawk in here for men's best trick. Hopefully we can see Lindsay skate this ramp more. She's been ripping this weekend.
We'll see it.
We're going to put some time back on the clock. We're going to keep that stack of cash in our head judge's hand. He's going to be on top of the ramp, and basically, he gets to deem how many bills he peels off for these tricks.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Of Tony Hawk?
Yes.
Let's introduce Mr.
Hi.
Tony Hawk. Welcome back.
Hello.
Tony, what advice were you giving the 720 squad?
Well, Arisa, she needs to tuck her head on the snap and try to get under her board. And so I tried to put it into terms of like, you want to do a half cab to McTwist. That's the best way I can explain it.
Okay.
Because her head is already above her board when she takes off, and then it exaggerates itself on the second spin. That's why she was so top heavy.
Yeah.
And then Lily, she just needed more speed. That's it. Like, she has it. If she had an extension to rock to fakie, she would do it. So I told her to do the board slide to fakie, and she got closer. I mean, if she jumps into the session, she'll make one.
I think the good news is we're going to see a women's 720 within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think you're going to see one tonight.
I know. Within
I
the
see
next couple
someone
of minutes,
barging the field right now.
Good. Let them barge. Well, to get us kicked off here for men's best trick here at Tony Hawk's Vert Alert. One more time, let's go over to Wolfmate, Jason Ellis.
Hey everybody, Jason Ellis again, here for the men's final best trick. This is it. This is the end of the whole night for us. Everything these athletes have, this is the end of it right here. They're going to give it all. They're going to get some cash. Oh! She made it! First female 720 before the contest even started. Everybody make some noise for Arisa True. No way! Yeah! Welcome to the male best trick contest. Check out the replay, everybody. The first female 720 ever done in the history of the universe. Here it is in Utah. 1, 2, boom. Thank you. Yeah, Arisa True. So sick. All right, guys, no pressure. Wow. All right, everybody. Boys, starts now. Everything you got. Paul Luke. Come on, Utah. These guys have more than you think. Whoa, frontside tail slide. Shove it out.
We're into best trick.
Wow. That
Tough-
was just
tough
a
act to
bonus,
follow.
bonus best trick.
So 2 bonus vert skaters here in this men's best trick, Bucky Lassick and Mitchie Brusco. So
those guys are pretty good, right?
Oh, wait, did you just see what happened right here?
What happened?
Jimmy Wilkins, kickflip ollie 5 over the gap. No big deal.
That could score well.
Yeah.
I'll make a couple $100.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Mitchie.
Kickflip melon 5. This is just like he wants to get one in the bag.
What do you think Mitchie might try? You have any ideas for?
Oh man, I don't know. Mitchie's got all the spins and he's got all the flips.
Moto Shibata.
Moto needs some speed for something here. Oh, here we go. Oh. So kickflip Japan McTwist. That's the goal.
An alley-oop, right? Like
kickflip Japan McTwist alley-oop. This one, alley-oop kickflip back lip.
Over
the gap.
The chasm. I think next year you got to force Bucky to skate in the men's. Just force him.
I mean, it's just he can shoot. The field is open for him.
That good.
Whatever he wants to do, he could do all of them.
Yeah.
He could do vert.
Legends.
He could do legends and do best trick.
Well, you know what? I'm just stoked to see him skating right now because he does have some of the best tricks.
Yeah, Bucky's got a bag.
What's your favorite Bucky Lasik tricks?
I like the nollie kickflip Madonna. I'm a big fan of that one because he just throws it out willy-nilly.
I love those tricks. They're impossible, but what I love even more is that frontside invert he does where he twists it all around.
All the way around, yeah.
I don't even know what he's doing. And then he does the switch eggs and all that too. That I just love it because it's just so far removed from what I could ever think of doing. So.
Can we pass them notes, some trick requests?
You can, yes.
Like $5, do a frontside invert.
There you go. Tom's just got too much speed for trying to land on the lip slide.
So Jason Ellis, our house hype man, just told the crowd these are the highest level of tricks currently being done in vertical skateboarding.
So I think Mitchie's doing a kickflip 9. Is that what I'm seeing right now?
That's what's happening. And that can happen. If
he catches it, he knows how to spin, and if there's one thing Mitchie's got, he can spot his landing.
So
spinning at full speed.
A kickflip 9. Are you doing the kickflip and catching it before you start spinning, or is it all in one motion?
I think he's probably going to be at least 360 by the time that thing flips into his hand. It has to be. I mean,
that sounds really complicated.
You don't have a choice.
You know, have you ever watched Mitchie's trick tips videos? They're so detailed. I've never heard anyone break down tricks like that. It's pretty cool. We all kind of have that stuff in our heads, I think, but he does a great job of pinpointing what's going on, and I love it.
So vert skating in the past 10 years has been a real showcase in throwbacks and then modern tricks. What are some of the things that we're seeing tried tonight that are really, truly on the cutting edge of vert skating?
Well, pretty much everything we've seen. Here, let's see, he's going kickflip 5-0. That's not something excessively new, but we don't usually see Guy do that kind of stuff, so it's newer for him.
But a lot of these tricks,
Jimmy, like this right here, kickflip ollie 540. He has done that once before.
So we wouldn't have seen these tricks 4 or 5 years ago?
No.
Not at all. Not even close.
I don't know. No, and no 900 variations. Oh, Tom.
So you're saying we might make some more history tonight? That sounds great to me. First female 720 ever, low-key in the history books. Here from Tony Hawk.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
And we know who invented that one.
Mike Frazier.
Yes.
Birdhouse.
At my ramp.
Beasters.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that when he got stung by a bee in his helmet?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, no, I think that was Ravers, but it's all right.
Either way.
Oh, here we go. Dude, Mitchie, if he catches that, it's going to happen.
Has he done that before?
I don't think so.
So we could be seeing another NBD.
Right. Look at Paul's being quiet because he doesn't want to say the wrong thing. No, I don't think he's done kickflip 9.
Well, how about this? I didn't want to say this. Last year, when Mitchie did a kickflip melon 5 in his run, I said he should probably just take that to 9.
Yeah.
So what I didn't want to do is take credit for it, but that's what I'm doing.
Go ahead.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
Go ahead.
And then I also, I told Jimmy to do a frontside ollie 5, so hopefully he makes this ollie
Oh yeah, I've been asking that for that one for a long time.
I'll give it to you.
It's pretty amazing that, you know, vert skating, one of the longest running elements of skateboarding, that we're still seeing NBDs.
There'll always be NBDs.
There'll always be NBDs, yeah.
Somehow, somewhere, skaters are going to get creative and figure out, you know, 540 no comply or something, whatever.
What's he working out in his mind right there as he goes up to that trick?
I think the approach right there, because there's a certain sweet spot where you can snap that but still get over the gap. And what he's doing, he doesn't want to really take off on vert because that's going to send his board too far up. So he's got to snap it just before vert, and he's got to be at the angle to clear the gap. That's what I'm projecting to him. I don't know.
And with any...
Knowing Jimmy, he's like, no, this would be cool.
But no grab flip tricks on vert, they happen at the very start of the trick. Like if it goes wrong at the, you can't, when you grab it,
you're not going to fix it. Yeah,
but when you're not grabbing, it's unfixable.
So rudimentary question here. When you go up for an air, are you going straight up, or does it have the tendency to push you out towards the flats? For a total beginner who doesn't know anything about vert skating, well, for straight up or out?
You're more straight up. If you're taking off on vert, where you should be taking off.
Right.
But if you're a street skater, you snap an ollie and then you jump out to flat.
They tend to go to flat. I tell them to skate through the vert. If you can figure out in your mind how to skate past through the vert, like it's not there.
It just sends you straight up that way.
And how much of these airs are ollies, and how much is just basically riding and bonking off the coping?
I think everything you're seeing tonight is going to be an ollie.
Going to be an ollie.
Yeah.
Well, we're now down to 12 minutes and 51 seconds to go. Jimmy Wilkins.
See, Jimmy's trying to get that on the wall as soon as possible because you're not going to get that on your feet perfectly, so he's just trying to push it against the wall and then kick turn the rest of the way.
It's just mind-bending. What's possible?
That's a good one.
Skateboard!
See, alley-oop fives send you over the coping, so there's a good chance of locking up. And he's trying to kickflip, which means he's got to snap extra
so then there's
hard.
Even a better chance of locking up.
Yeah, like you're going to hang up on a kickflip, you're going to hang up on an alley-oop, double that, and then try to snap.
Try to get to flat, and you might not hang up.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Yes!
Alley-oop, kickflip, backlip, just like Tom Shard.
A 3 for 1. Or 4 for 1 if you add the fact that he got over the gap.
Kickflip, body rail, backlip. Alley-oop, kickflip, body rail, backlip.
Again, the math, the physics. So sometimes these things just don't make sense.
I want Mike Frazier to hand Paul Luke the money if he does that trick. Oh, so great.
Nollie flips,
Nollie flips, slob 360.
11:30. Mitchie Briscoe.
And no shame in the stink bug game.
I was going to to we're not even going to talk about it.
It's all right. Oh, he's catching it. Whoa. Dude, he had it in his hand, like it touched his hand. It could happen.
He definitely has
here we go.
In his eye.
Look at that.
He's like a fire at the circus.
Oh, yeah.
Intense.
Intense. You're right.
Oh,
he's the king of the slow-mo flip.
Yeah.
To late land, and
landing is an afterthought. Oh, wow. Nose grind, nollie flip in. Now we're moving into some street action.
To quote our friend Todd Richards, he doesn't care about landings.
What does that mean?
He'll just send, and whatever happens later is what's going to happen.
Okay. Thank you for
Is there a landing? He doesn't care.
I thought it just didn't matter if he landed on it or not. It counts if it's
going to try to land it by any means necessary. Whoa.
You see, Moto has to have 2 to 3 perfect setups for that, and then he landed low on that setup before it. It's just, you're kind of doomed from the get-go there.
Now, all of these skaters are absolute technicians. Do you think, and I hope this doesn't sound too corny, do they have trick lists? I mean, is there a physical list that some skaters write down of all the tricks that they do or they want to do?
Reese Nelson does.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone, like...
I mean, you're not like keeping tabs, like I learned this, I learned that, but there may be a list of tricks you want to learn.
But in a case like this, there are tricks that these guys have in mind, and they've definitely tested, but they're not going to commit to unless it's like... They're not going to commit to unless it's during the event. Or the big video part. Oh, here we go.
You guys see me just almost die?
Yeah, well, I'm sitting
I saw your reaction.
Too, right here. I would have
part of it.
too. You go down.
If they're staying skating,
hey, welcome to the party.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
That was
nollie heel flip, Indy 3 over the gap.
That's heavy.
So hard. Also, the thing about that is that doing a nollie heel at an angle like that, because usually you want to do nollie heel straight at the coping, right? So you bonk the coping. Getting an angle is so hard to flip. Oh, alley-oop cap lip by Tom Shar, just another one.
We should shout out Paul Luke. No, I'm sorry, Pierre Luke for the nollie heel Indy 3. He was
nollie heel Indy 3, yeah.
I'm trying really hard not to say Pierre Luke.
Yeah.
For Paul Luke,
right? Both
individuals, but I think they kind of have similar styles.
Similar.
Oh, shoot up 9. There's a new one.
That's crazy.
Oh, Bucky, with the is that the no comprende?
I think so.
No comply disaster.
I'm impressed with Bucky's grip tape job.
Here we go. Oh, he's got a good setup. Could happen right here. Yes. And the other thing about the alley-oop 5 is you got to spin more.
Yeah, it's a 5-6.
Yeah, it's like almost like a 600.
So with 7:55 to go, again, don't blink. We could be seeing history in the making.
I'm surprised Jimmy sets up way in the corner like that. It's almost like he has to travel more than the channel when he does it, but who am I to question his technique on that trick?
Will you protect me, Paul, if this board comes flying at my head?
You're all right.
We're safe. 7:28 to go. So explain the nuances of the trick that Mitchie Brusco is currently trying. It's never been done. We've never seen it in the video.
Well, he's trying to do a kickflip melon 900, and it's just a lot going on. 2.5 spins with a kickflip. Ooh, there you go, kickflip body jar.
And
big fan of that one.
There's no question. We all know how difficult it is to get to a 900, right? To make that. And then a kickflip melon is an insanely difficult trick. It's just such a weird one to grab, and your feet have to be so...
It's a lot to think about. Yeah. You need a computer processor in your brain to divide it all up and then put it together. Oh, Bucky. Those nollie tricks, you have to set up with a backside air, but then you have to move your feet in the air, and it doesn't bode well for being calm and collected on the way up.
You're going fast.
Oh, wow.
The Matt Dove.
Was he going fakie or was he going 540?
I'm not sure.
I'm claiming 5.
Okay. You know what, though? Then I'm going to claim Matt Dove again.
Still Matt Dove, sure.
Yeah.
Here we go. Moto.
Oh, look at that setup.
This is going to be...
Oh, man. You see that his board, the direction he landed, would have been a 540 if he was going straight up and down.
This is why everybody loves Best Trick Contest, because you get to see the process. You get to see the corrections being made in real time. And if Moto lands this, we've just read the book. I mean, that is an incredible story. 5:30 on the clock. Kickflip, melon, 900.
Mitchie does not miss setups.
And the process can be so brutal when you're getting closer, you're working through those kinks, then you get to a point where you know the next one's a make. You know it. And then something goes wrong.
And it's way off.
You have to restart. The commitment process.
Wow. He's a blur.
I notice unwritten rules here. Nobody's trying anybody else's trick. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if, I don't, like, these guys are so specialized. It's almost like that. I wouldn't say they can't, but they probably can't.
I'd like to dare somebody to do that.
Yeah.
Like draw tricks out of a hat. All right, you're going to do.
Okay, guys, white elephant. Here we go. We're mixing it up.
Kickflip 900. No worries.
Sorry, you have to.
Jimmy's giving up on the kickflip ollie 5. He's going back nose blunt over the bridge.
I always say this about no grab flip tricks on vert. Trying harder doesn't help you. You want to try harder, and it doesn't do you any good. You have to almost tone it down a notch to do no grab flip tricks. So
here we go. Big setup. Oh man, you see, he missed the grab and said, "Well, I'm still in the air. It's still kind of there. Let's grab it again." That's only in a contest would you see that.
Yeah. There's no reason you'd ever not
never do that in a session.
Real life. Unless it was one height.
See Bucky setting up his feet during his backside air. It's so awkward.
How is Bucky still so good? Does anybody know that?
I don't. I say that every time I skate with him.
How is he still so good?
And you know, everybody like progresses still, hopefully, and adds little like tweaks and little adjustments to tricks they already are really good at. Bucky comes out with inventing new genres of tricks.
Yeah,
that's what blows my mind.
Was he the first to throw those front rodeos?
I mean, that's an old one. This guy was the first to do those. Yeah. It was a little different, but
I think he did a switch first.
Yeah, and did anyone do a switch again after?
I don't know.
We'll have to check the tape.
Has anyone?
We're gonna have to find his trick list that he's written down.
It's in his skate guide.
I'd say if you were to go through some of the hardest tricks and then write switch after them, you would probably see Bucky's name in most of those slots.
That's very true. And then you'd see Danny and Colin in a lot of those slots.
Yeah.
Bob. Oh, yes. That's true.
And I know that we're still in this event, Tony, but plans for next year? You got some special invites?
We'll see. Oh, this is it. That's going to be a wobbly landing, I'll tell you right now. If he does throw that down, it's going to be pure survival. And he can make it.
Not going to be easy.
But it's not going to be easy.
We have roughly 2 minutes on the clock, but we control this clock. We do whatever we want. Hold your breath.
Yeah. That snap that it takes to get out far enough to do a 900 does not correlate with a kickflip snap.
Gomez.
Oh, yeah. So great.
Feels like a difference in vert skating than street skating is sometimes one trick can put your name on the map and keep it there.
Like a McTwist?
Like a McTwist.
Yeah, no, there's only a handful really though that really just like cement a legacy.
But you just said that's a Matt Dove trick, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's things like that.
I mean, but
you're okay.
For us, those are more of the deep cuts,
right?
And we're like the vert nerds. So, but you're right. I mean, yeah, Matt Dove, especially with like ollie 5 shove, backslide ollie 3, almost like a backslide ollie 3 late shove, right?
A lot. Any late shove from fakie, landing fake.
Oh, there you go. Oh. Alley-oop, kickflip, Japan 5, and not wobbly.
Wow.
I recant what I said. There was no wobble. That was amazing.
Moto is having one of his best nights ever.
He threw the Japan in there for good measure.
We got a special shout out from Ryan Williams. He's cheering on Mitchie in the YouTube chat. What up, Ryan?
Oh, that was it right there.
I can't imagine the commitment on that because you have to decide before you get a chance to know anything.
Yeah. The thing about that with Mitchie and anyone out there that wants to try a 900, If something goes wrong in the beginning, stay with the spin. I speak from experience.
You landed fakie 7.
If you decide not to spin, it's not going to go well for you. You're going to land, and also you're way out from the wall. That other spin brings you closer to the wall.
Most of us are just going to have to go ahead and take your word for that.
Ooh. No comply revert?
That's
sure.
It's funny.
Do that one, Bucky. Get it.
That one word can be one of the biggest
them to go against the rules.
Compliments in skateboarding. When people just say, what? It's incredulous.
You know, I love it when people come up with tricks you would have never even dreamed of. You'd have never thought of in a million years. And then they do them. That's great. That's always a plus.
All right, we're in overtime. That's fine with us.
It feels like Jason's just calling people who he thinks are close. Oh, man, that's such a good one.
That's it. Make some noise.
I mean, that's it. Matt Dove's the only one who done that, right?
As far as
Bob?
I know.
No, Bob did frontside cab, late shove.
And, yeah, that's true. And Bob did backside 3 kickflip. No grab.
Yes.
You guys are nerds, and I love it.
It's high fidelity.
I remember every trick from every skateboarder.
We're going chronological.
Yeah, we're going deep.
All right.
Come on, Mitchie, catch it. If he catches it, it's going down. Those setups.
That was really close. Those bails, though, it's definitely
painful. There's so much, yeah.
Because you spot your landing, you don't, so you don't get to soak up the
pounding.
Normally would, yeah. I guess. Speaking based on what I'm seeing.
Potentially last looks. Last attempts.
I'm going to say the hardest thing about that is the nose grab. Because it doesn't keep your back foot in place. And if there's one thing you need on a 900 is a solid back foot.
Can we just address that kid is tough as nails?
He just went down.
That was,
he said, I'm okay.
A gnarly slam. He put his thumbs up, but of course we're going to let him get off the ramp. We do have expert medical crew on hand. He's not going to need it.
Warrior.
Waves to the crowd. Guy Curry right there.
Oh, Bucky with the no comply 360.
Total NBD. No one who does no complies. Oh, you know that Kozers.
There you go. All right. So I'm thankful that the ramp is sticky now, but had it been a super slick surface, he might have gotten out of that.
A little extra credit here.
Oh, man. That's the thing about those shove-its is that they can flip so easily, and you don't realize it. And then you're committed to fakie, and your board is in primo.
And you get a millisecond to decide if you're going to land it or not.
Yeah, well, he's committed. He's just committed to those every time.
Well, that was the greatest show on Vert.
Here we go. I see Bucky barging.
Well, he's got an MVP in the bag right here.
This is skateboarding.
Let's take a look at what just happened. I know there's a lot going on behind us, but some of the tricks we just saw, well, those are some of the best tricks of the night.
There you go. Alley-oop, kickflip, back lip. Oh, look, he was over the gap. He doesn't even need the bridge. Nollie heel, innie 3. So clean. Moto. Kickflip. Japan, alley-oop, McTwist.
One more try. Look at that.
That one's doing something.
I want to say, I mean, Moto Shibata, a real star of the night, for sure. I mean, every finalist put it all out there, so congratulations to every skater that even entered this gauntlet. Impressive skating all weekend long. Thank you again, Tony, for bringing this event back to Salt Lake City. And we do have qualifiers for X Games from this contest. To get you hyped about what's coming up this summer, let's take a look at X Games California 2023.
X Games, summer, music, and you. That's right, fans are back at X Games this summer. Be part of 3 action-filled days in sunny Ventura, California. The best in BMX, skateboard, Moto X, and music. Right on the beach, July 21st through 23rd.
X Games
Just
will be
happened.
going July 21st through 23rd. Go to xgames.com for tickets. And now we're about to give out some hardware. Our master of ceremonies, one of the funniest skateboarders on the planet. Let's throw it back one more time to Jason Ellis.
Hey everybody, we ready to find out the results of best trick female, best trick male, best skateboarder in all the divisions, everything. Who is the champion of the world? Right now, I have first place for women's best trick, and that is none other than Reese Nelson with the kickflip nose slide over the channel. Make some noise for Reese Nelson. Tony Hawk giving her the Vert Alert jersey. Reese, jump up on the podium on that one because you won. Face here. Reese, not only did you win, but you also got a lot of cash. What do you plan on doing with that cash?
I'm going to take Colin McKay to Islands.
Notice how she respects her elders, ladies and gentlemen. She knows where she came from, and I appreciate that. Notice how you didn't mention you were going to get me anything. That's okay. Give it up for Reese Nelson, everybody. All right, up next for the men's best trick. You didn't write his name. Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. Moto Shibata, you won, dude, with alley-oop McTwist. Alley-oop kickflip McTwist. Give it up for Moto, everybody. I honestly think that Moto made that because the crowd went wild. So give yourself a pat on the back as well, Utah. You did excellent. Moto. Amazing skateboarding. Come up there. Moto, do you think that you Japanned your kickflip alley-oop McTwist?
Yeah, I think so.
Then he did. Ladies and gentlemen, Moto Shibata, first ever alley-oop kickflip Japan McTwist. Seriously, it is. Well done, dude. Take it. Take it all the way to Gloryville, my friend. Well earned. Yeah, Moto. Okay. Now, for the men's pro final and women's, I'll do the women's first. Relax, guys. Women's first. Okay, top 3. In third place, we have Reese Nelson. Reese Nelson, after just winning best trick, third place in the women's final. Get up here, Reese. Again. $1,000? 4,000? Man, we're going to Sizzler. And in second place, Asari Kahira. Shredding all weekend. $5,000. Some of the greatest Madonnas I've ever seen. Just an excellent day of skateboarding. And then I'm very stoked to say this because she's from Australia and it's good to see her. Nice Australian. Get on top of the podium. Give it up for your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Arisa True! Taking home first place. Arisa, not only did you do that, but you also are the first female to do a 720. How do you feel today?
I'm so happy.
Is there anything you plan on doing tonight to celebrate?
No, I don't know.
Maybe Reese could buy you a pizza. She's rich.
Sure.
Give it up for these ladies, everybody. Amazing skateboarding from all of them. And of course, all the other ladies that made it into the final today qualified for X Games Summer 2023. So if you look at there it is. All those girls are now officially in X Games Summer 2023. So give it up for all these athletes, Utah. Because they are going to X Games, baby. All right, let's get these dudes taken care of. The greatest vert skating dudes in the world for the Tony Hawk Vert Alert. In third place, my favorite skateboarder. Give it up, everybody, for Jimmy Wilkins. Jimmy with the best style, best selection of tricks. Truly a Cinderella story of a man. Congratulations, Jimmy Wilkins. In second place, winner of best trick. Give it up for Moto Shibata. Yeah, Moto. Moto shredding all day. And there can only be one winner today, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, did he earn it. So many different tricks in that contest. He qualified first. Make some noise, everybody, for your victory champion, undisputed world, undeniable, greatest skateboarder alive right now, Eddie Demestoy! Edouard! Yeah, man. Get your jersey from the great Tony Hawk. Eddie, I noticed you got all your jewelry on. You're feeling pretty cool. You look really cool. Hey, did you have fun in Utah? And what were some of the fun things you got to do? I mean, what was the best part about the contest besides winning?
I'm very happy. I'm happy because I see Vert is growing all the time. We're in an amazing stadium this time. The crowd was amazing too. So I'm glad for this. And yeah, the level of Vert is growing every year. I'm so proud of this. These guys killed it. Everybody in the finals killed it. I had to pull out my best skating today. And I'm glad it worked out. It was my day. I'm so happy. And yeah, Vert skating. Let's go.
Give it up for everybody, man. Edouard, Jimmy, Moto, the greatest skateboarders alive right now. Just so you know, these guys, top three, the other guys that qualified, if you look up at the scoreboard, they also qualified for X Games Summer 2023. Gusto, Ronnie Gomez, Tom Shah, Paul Luke, all you guys, Ski Curry, you are in the X Games. Congratulations to all these athletes. Some of the greatest skateboarding I've ever seen. Thanks everybody for putting up with my voice. And now I will leave you with the great Tony Hawk, everybody. Make some noise for Tony Hawk.
Hey, thank you everybody. Thank you for coming, for supporting vert skating. I think it's just a bit of a lost art, but it's back on the rise. Thanks to all you for coming. And thanks to all the skaters for making the effort and for literally risking their bodies just for fun and entertainment and competition. So, and we also want to thank Ryan Smith for letting us use your amazing venue, Delta Center, and to Jeff Robbins, Utah Sports Commission, for inviting us year after year. This has been incredible. And to all of our sponsors for they're the reason we're here, the reason we can afford to do this, and the reason that it's free for you guys. So thank you again. And I hope we see you next year. Take it easy. See you at X Games. Bye.
Thank you, Tony Hawk. I mean, what more can you say? Came through again here in Salt Lake City with the 2023 Tony Hawk's Vert Alert. Exceeded all the expectations set last year in 2022. We saw the future of vert skating happen right in front of our eyes.
Exactly. Congratulations to Arisa True, first woman to ever do a 720, and then she won the contest also. And then Frenchie getting his second win at Vert Alert. This has been a great weekend. It lived up to the hype. It surpassed the hype. It slayed the hype.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank all of you for watching. All of these people in here are as hyped as you are, no doubt. Paul and I are going to go get some autographs from our favorite skateboarders, and we will see you at X Games, and we'll see you next year here in Salt Lake City for Tony Hawk's Vert Alert.